Good morning, or good afternoon, or good evening, depending on what time it is for you where you are. Happy Sunday. I hope your weekend's going well. Welcome back. Welcome back to my decor farming season. It's our decor. We're in our decor farming eon is what we're saying here. I need 2 more troops recruited, just 2 for priest, and I was having a hard time finding the right missions. I could probably just like literally log into a different priest and just click on the thing, but I'm making it hard for myself by trying to finish it on this character. I set a few missions to get some of the troops that I have now done, but I know that this character, because this was my main in Legion, has, and I don't remember where you recruit him, but this character can recruit troops up here somewhere. If indeed it is up here. Maybe it's somewhere else. I kind of forget, but she can do it. Maybe it's downstairs? McTaser2, thank you for the 72-month resub. Appreciate it. Hey, Hazel, hope your session is productive. Thank you very much. Yeah, going to BFA would work too. True. I want to remember, is this it? This feels familiar. I've blocked a lot of Argus out. Purveyor of fine furnishings. It would be a shame if exquisite furnishings were furniture. That would make too much sense. There was a guy. I guess what I could do is we could look it up because I don't think I'm about to find it. Argus troop recruiter. Void purged crow cools. Comments. So we're going to Eridath. Start from the city center at the Lightforged Beacon. Yeah, no, this sounds too hard. They've hidden him. He is start from the city center, face west, go down a flight of stairs, road bends to the southwest, follow it down the next flight of stairs, continue south until you hit Baruth the Bloodthirsty, then go to the dilapidated stairs. They're gonna spiral clockwise into the nope, not doing that. Let's do something different. I thought that was going to be easier than it was. That's okay. We can just do it the old way. Yeah, an NPC sells them. That seems fine, but not for me. You know what else we can get started? I was reviewing my progress on this, alts and class order hall, so we're nearly done with a bunch of it. I would like to get my hunter and my shaman at least set up with an order hall so they can buy their freebie stuff and start working on troops and research. That's what I think I want to start with today. I do need to also send some missions elsewhere. There's 2 more hidden artifact appearances that we can go for. I've come to remember that on my Unholy Death Night, the way I farm for my hidden artifact appearance is every day I summon my army of the dead with Apocalypse, and you're just hoping for like a special one is basically what's going on there. So that's kind of fun. But let's take, this is a hunter. I've decided this is going to be the hunter for class hall purposes. If I had a hunter I played during Legion, I could not tell you which one. I feel like I need a last time on the stream synopsis because I am lost. I am just working on class order hall decor again. That's all I'm doing. Yesterday I was doing some crafting and I'll probably do some more. We were doing some tailoring. We did a bunch of farming yesterday of primals and elemental motes in TBC. Because I wanted to make a piece of furniture that needed a bunch of them, and it was going to be too expensive for my sensibilities to purchase them. So I spent about 2 hours yesterday farming like primal fire and primal mana and whatnot. But we're done with that now. We're good. We're caught up. Dummies is the way for Unholy. Yeah, I found some like in the upstairs of the class order hall of Atcherus. I had to hit the button like 20 times for it to activate, but maybe I was just lagging. Where am I tracking my uniques? I am using this bad boy. Data for Azeroth. You pull up your character. I refresh it to make sure I've pulled the latest data from the API. 924. 44 is a dream, but we're working on it. Which puts me at Lightbringer 8. It says 68.5%. Decor numbers are always a little funky. This is the best place I have to pull a number from. Mileage may vary. I really wish I could know when what the next exact remix is gonna be. Yeah, 924. Ooh, I'm only 2 short of spot 6. And there's 2 people tied for 6th, actually. At 2 more pieces than I have now, so we should be able to crack that. Of course, if we want to get up to number 1, we've got some work to do. Okay. So, this character is just getting set up in Argus. That's right. I'm just going to get set up with a class order hall. I have a hunter hidden artifact appearance already, so which artifact I pick is not material. It does not matter. I don't know if she has one yet or not. I am assuming she doesn't because it doesn't look like I've touched any of this, so I'll probably just get the BM artifact. There's a macro to check if you already found the special one for the hidden unholy artifact. When I wanted to go for it, spent too long before I thought I could have already done it by accident. I can't imagine, like, if you summon it by accident then you don't kill it, are you just, like, doomed? I feel like they would let you do it again. I haven't played very much Demon Hunter, or Death... I have not played very much Death Knight in my life. I think I'll probably be okay. So if I was trying to start my class campaign... Legion. Continue the Order Hall campaign to continue the Legion Fall campaign. Urgent summons. In Val'sharah? Maybe. Maybe not. Usually for Hunter, someone starts running around after you. That's normally how it goes. Let me go look into this, though. Yeah, I did the Hunter one already because it was sold for bronze. We're caught up there. That part's checked off. I don't need, the hidden appearance, but I do need... Pardon me. I need, Sorry about that. I need... campaign and research. Normally... Yeah, we'll get this sorted out. It's gonna need to happen eventually. Book that drops from one of the special guys. He says something, then after he dies, he drops the book. You gotta click on it. Oh. Yeah. So skip to the broken shore. Sneezing is how the cold I have started. Oh, I'm sorry you're feeling sick. It's usually how they start for me too. Although, if I'm lucky and I take it real easy and I don't stress myself out, it doesn't always go farther than sneezing. Sometimes I can shake them off. So we don't need to do any of this. Don't need to do any of that. This is just nice to be set up with so that when the time comes you can come out here and you can get your Legion Fall champion. But it doesn't look like we're ready for that yet. I may just need to go back to Dalaran and then relog in order to get that NPC that's meant to chase you to spawn. Doing remix Withered scenario with Monk and DK for hidden appearances. Nice. I guess I can go while we're thinking about it, while we're talking about it. Let's do the... Let's pause this for a moment because I need to log off and log back in anyway. Unless anybody wants to chase me down. Nope, that's just a player. Here, we'll go give a try at the unholy thing. Have a go. There she is. I'm not sure. I haven't started on that tune. We'll have to pick through and get to the bottom of it. I made this character during BFA. But who's to say what she's done? If it's not Wrath, I will go finish the Argent tournament. If it is Wrath, I will absolutely stop doing Argent tournament for something else. Imagine that it is Wrath and they give you everything except for Argent tournament stuff. How funny would that be? Maybe funny is the wrong word. So we're recruiting people. We're up to 6 of 20. We only just got started with the recruiting. And I think I'm just going to recruit the cheap guys. It'll take a little longer, but it'll save me a few order resources. And also, I know how to find this NPC. The other one is upstairs, and I can't. It's so far. Although I suppose I'm going to be going upstairs anyways, because that's where I'm going to be summoning my Apocalypse. Wrathmog, also not that exciting. Wouldn't hate it. Would be doing the daily so far wasn't for nothing. Yeah, Wrathmog's pretty gnarly. It's a lot of stuff that looks like moldy wood. Oh yeah, and we're fighting. It's a rune generator. I don't know why I can't do that yet. This is something I haven't understood. I'm in combat. I'm hitting a dummy. I know you can use this on target dummies. I did it yesterday. But I had to hit the thing like 10 times before it decided to go. It doesn't cost anything. It generates runes. Why can I not do it? You can't do that yet. There we go. Now it worked. Couldn't tell you why. Festering Strike. Why? Nothing in the tooltip leads me to believe that. Why is it that way? I need 4 stacks of a debuff. Anyway, one of them will talk to me, I'm assuming. That's what you were saying? One of them will say something. If they're fancy. They don't seem to be fancy. I don't think we got it today. You need Festering Wounds. You'd think they would put that in the tooltip. Anyway. No luck there. For me, just saw the book on the floor. Yeah, nothing. You would think. You'll just say, why have you summoned me? Took me way too long to figure out the debuff thing. Well, they don't tell you very thoroughly. Brute Force of Training Grounds? I thought it was a daily chance. I didn't think it was spammable. It's not a daily chance? Oh, jeez. Oh, dear. Oh, no. Arahoki, thank you very much for the 59-month resub. You can go until you get it. I sat for 2 hours on dummies. It's a super low spam roll. Oh, dear. I don't know if I'm ready to deal with that. Oh, Mage, daily chance for the sheep. I think we got one on Mage. I think Mage is done for me. This is Demon Hunter. He's got an actual campaign that he has to do. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about all that. This guy, yeah, 17 out of 20 troops. Is there anything that I can send them on that's gonna get him killed over here? No, no lethal missions. We can just kind of do this the old-fashioned way. Sure. Send them all. Got it in 10 minutes on Remix. Congratulations. I am going to take a short break and I'm going to blow my nose. Oh, man. Pardon me. let's see here. I said I was gonna... And I mean, I could do it on Crawdad, because he did some of his campaign. He at least has an order hall. But I would need to take him out of Remix in order to get the decor. And I need to leave... He's my, like, last Remix character, and I just want to leave him in Remix until it's over. So, let me see. I wonder... I might just have the teleport to her class order hall on Crassus's Landing. That might be a thing. Can fly there as a hunter. I'm assuming if I have it unlocked, I'm gonna have the quick flight to it. If I don't have the quick flight to it, then I'm probably missing some quests. It is in High Mountain, that's true. We need something pretty straightforward to chip away at today. I don't think I'm in the right... I don't think today is the right day for me to try to figure out anything that's, like, complicated or tricky. I just want to hang out, have a nice chat, work on getting some decor. I do have a class order hall over here. I don't know when I did this. I do have some of this. Alright. Let's have a poke around and see what's going on over here. This one... Okay. So it's pretty early, but I apparently do have an artifact, which is good. That saves me some time. The main thing that I wanted was just to get started on the troop recruitment and to pick up the kind of freebie decor from the quartermaster. That's pretty much what I'm here for at this point. Let me speak over here and just kind of get my bearings. Here's a recruiter. These guys are 20 each. We love that. 424 decor. Been farming so much. Don't know how you have so many. The in-game counted number and the API number seem different. It's possible that the API number is counting all decor and the in-game one is like uncommon and higher. Or it's possible that it's just wonky. Kind of tough to say. Let's check on our class hall upgrades. We'll need to do these as well. Okay, so I have like one. Oh, this seems good. I would take extra. I guess they're just flight points, huh? Hi, Hazel. How are you able to organize your character's selection screen like you have it? It's really sweet that you think it's organized. You can add campsites. You can add campsites whenever you like to make like little windows of 4 alts. There's a add new camp button here that lets you name it, and then you can just drag and drop things around. You can just kind of reorder things however you like with drag and drop. It didn't used to work very consistently. It used to kind of snap them back and reset them, but it's been working better for me lately. I think DFA is doing some double counting for some people. What if it's doing some half counting for some people? I am using data for Azeroth to check on how many I have. Mine reset itself after doing it. Let's see. So here's our quartermaster. Alright, so we can pick up our weapon rack. Ooh, a fireplace. It's a nice one. I have the skeletal dragon trophy in storage. I don't have the banner, so there's 4 items. 3 items, because we also have this. This was the hidden artifact one. So one of these is from the upgrades, and the other one is from the troops. Because I need the upgrades one, I'm going to replay the campaign. Am I going to replay the campaign, actually? Maybe I'm not. You know what? I'm going to go back to my Google Doc. Oh, no, I didn't do it. I was going to say, I'm just going to wait and do this on Crawdad, because he did the campaign, and then I remembered, no, he didn't. He did not do the campaign. And I need to be recruiting troops anyways, so it's not going to really be any sweat off my back to be replaying the campaign missions on the mission table, because we have to do this anyway. Never mind. There we go. Player experience. Well, this player's already 80. Yeah, so this character will have some of that to do. But we picked up 3 just by coming out here. So what I want to do now is I want to get on my shaman. I don't know when I'm gonna actually like do a bunch of the campaign questing. I have a feeling it's not today. I need to do a bunch of it. I've got campaign to do on like 4 classes. And the smart thing to do is to at least get them up to the point where they have missions to run so that you can kind of park them at their mission table and just do that for a few days. I find it easier to complete things like class halls when I pick one character and I just like tunnel it and I stick to it. Jumping around a lot is, I feel like, a really fast way to take the wind out of my sails. But it's also a very efficient way to do it, especially when you reach these like time-gated stopping points where you have to wait and do a bunch of missions, assuming that you are like me and you don't want to do it on retail. Or remix, rather. Alright. This character, I don't think, has a lot of history. This is my Flabby knockoff. At one point, we made spoof characters of each other's mains, Flabby and I, so this is Krabby. I don't know if the patient is the right title. I think we should pick something else. I don't think that describes me today. Junkmeister. There we go. So, grab that. We'll get the world quests. The Argus skip is just kind of nice to get out of the way. Spent so much time getting every single order hall mount during the Shadowlands drought. Definitely glad I did it. Yeah, paying off now for sure. I still don't have class hall mounts for a bunch of these. I guess I'm going to get them because I'm going to do enough questing to unlock the class hall mount quest for the rest of the classes that I don't have it on yet. I guess that's kind of neat. So once you're here, you can just kind of port back. This character is level 80, and I don't know why. I don't remember when I got this one from 70 to 80. It must have been time walking. She seems to be enhancement. Curious. Curiouser and curiouser. So I need to get started in the Maelstrom. I know I've been there before, but it's really, it probably wasn't this character that was there before. Hello? Maybe. Oh. No, it couldn't be. This one was made more recently than that. I think some of the characters that had started the Old Order halls were kind of lost in the purge. Oh, I found Thrall! Hey, buddy. Are you going to help take me to the Maelstrom? Yeah. Yeah, he is. Fly with... And we're going to go to the Crassus Landing. We can do that. I wonder if in Midnight I'm not even going to be as focused on mount or pet or mog collecting because I'm going to be too hung up on decor. I'm having a bad case of shiny new syndrome. This is the one. I remember her. I don't remember what zone it was, but there was a really memorable quest line where you're flying with a Wildhammer dwarf and you're like dangling some kind of prisoner that you're trying to grill for information over the rotor blades of a helicopter, and you accidentally drop them and turn them into jam. At least those are the points that stuck with me. It was, I think, a Cataclysm quest. Deepholm, yeah. Remember that as well. I don't remember many quests. I'm not a big quest reader, so for one to stick with me, it must have made a real impression. Nearing 1K mounts and the pet changes make me more excited to collect decor and mog more. Really? I figured for somebody that just wanted to collect the pets that the changes would be a benefit. It's the same collecting scheme, but just less busy work. Yeah, if they start putting metas on mount and pet collection that give decor, then I'm in trouble. Hate the one in Wrath where you have to torture someone to get information. I know exactly the one you mean. I think it got bad press because that one got out. That quest, people outside of WoW got wind of it. And Wrath was still back kind of in the era where they had more energy to be concerned about whether or not video games were ruining the children. And there's like some media sites being like, did you know that your children are torturing prisoners for information in World of Warcraft? Well, I don't know. Didn't give you another option. I think they fixed that quest. I think they changed it. I think they either give you another option or let you bypass it or something. Didn't know it was infamous. I think it's notably, at least at the time, one of the roughest quests in terms of just like raw subject matter. Left the torture one in Wrath Classic for sure. Don't you also do that in the Krasarang Wilds during the Landfall story? Maybe. Might have stopped paying attention by then. Just here to kick back for a bit. One thing garrisons had that I wish houses had was a stable so I could show my mounts and pets off. Would be so cool having mounts walking around the area. It's something I'm pretty sure they're working on. Yeah, the DK intro quests are pretty dark. Did that quest so many times in all the alts. It used to, it was in Borean Tundra, I'm pretty sure. And it used to be part of my normal leveling route. Back when you had to level through each expansion, I would level through early Northrend, and I would always do Borean over Howling Fjord because it was more efficient. Man, I have a hard time taking myself seriously in this outfit. Also, it occurred to me that I look a little different in here and here. I guess I have a pirate costume on. I guess the last thing this particular character did was go to Pirate's Day. Don't know if it's from weaponized stupidity, but I decided to get the Mogs from classic raids and such. Been rep grind Temple of Encourage for Mog sets. Nice. I did that, what, last year? I got it into my head I was going to collect everything from raids and dungeons starting at the beginning, so AQ was like the first raid that I hit. I was going to go through it all the things style, and I think it was both early and also alphabetically high. Alright. You guys are going to make me take something, aren't you? Do I need a hidden appearance, actually? Let me look. Do I need to consider that for Shaman? Yeah. Alright, hang on. Before I pick which artifact to do first, let me consult the WoW head guide. This is kind of what I've been checking in on. We'll grab Shaman. And what I'm basically looking for is I'm trying to suss out which one's going to be the easiest one to brute force. Or just the least annoying one to get. So it looks like the elemental one drops from underbelly rares. That could be annoying if there's a lot of competition. The enhancement one drops from Broken Isles world bosses. And can also drop from Helya and Trial of Valor. That seems maybe grindable. Pardon me. The Resto one drops from mobs and bosses and Eye of Ashar. That also looks grindable. You could just spam that. I wonder if I should get the Restoration one. The Ellie one is a hard no. Resto appeared super easy, yeah. Yeah, I think I'm gonna pick Resto for this. So, give me Sharstal. Thank you. Also, I'm in my... We gotta fix the UI. This is the one that has the chat showing. I play with that whenever I'm trying to, like, farm a drop or something. No time to lose. You betcha. They don't give me a quartermaster yet, do they? They want you to get your artifact first. Oof. Oh dear. Your quest log gets so gnarly when you're like halfway through a bunch of garbage. Is there anything else I can just clean up here? I do not want to release a Radiant Echo, and you can't make me. Just breadcrumb quest per days. Alright, so he's gonna send me in a bubble to Vashir. Elemental lets you double dip on the Rat Stallion. Good luck on the hidden for Shaman. 40 to 50 dungeon runs in. No drop yet for Resto. Ooh. Was there decor? Was Eye of Ashara one of the dungeons that had decor in it? I can't remember. I know while I was farming Iron Docks looking for I was farming iron docks looking for iron horde scraps. I was also getting like lamps from every run. Unfortunately, no. Okay. Well, worth a shot. This is a fun fish. He's got kind of a head like Bullet Bill. Nice thing with world bosses dropping stuff right now is all the world bosses are up all the time. Yeah. I wonder if that... I'm assuming that probably ends once Remix ends. It's probably a temporary state of affairs. I needed iron horde scraps to buy. There's one piece of decor for 75 of them. I couldn't find it for sale in my Alliance Dwarven bunker, but I did find it in the Horde War Mill, even on rank 1, so I just built the War Mill on a Horde garrison. This way. Should I be maybe using an underwater mount? Yeah. Maybe I should be walking on the ground. I think they gave me sea legs. Yeah, there we go. Just because you can swim doesn't mean you should. I know it wouldn't be a daily cooldown, but maybe the move will be to do 1 Eye of Ashara per day. Just so I don't go absolutely crazy. Man, I have not been to Vashir in some time. Also, it appears to me that this is not an entrance, and perhaps I should go back around the side. The Vashir pony only works. You can get instance locked in like 15 to 20 minutes. It might take me longer than that just because I'm pretty slow when I farm stuff like that. I don't pull large enough packs, and I tend to stop to clear things pretty often. And I also tend to full clear. Especially because it seems like that one can drop off of any mob. At least that's the way the Wowhead article made it sound. It sounded like it could drop from any mob or boss. It's only the first 2 bosses? ATT saying 100% of Vashir is amazing. Yeah, I bet. I have quest stuff I don't have from out there. Is this the 3rd clue? I feel like I missed the 1st clue. This is the 3rd clue. We definitely missed one. I must have run right by it. Well, pardon me. I'll be right with you. Any way to make a trial character now? Like a class trial? That's actually a good question. I don't think I've seen the option in a while. Couldn't find it on the character login screen. Weird. I wonder what happened. Did they phase them out and not tell us? Or maybe they phased them out and told us and I just missed it. I like this sound. I don't come here very often, you know. I don't show it, but Vashir is such a cool swing for them to take. It's so big. There's so much of it. They really committed. It could have been so much smaller. It's basically 3 zones. Hi, Hazel. Hope you're having a lovely day so far. What are you most excited about for midnight? Hello. I'm looking forward to the new raid. I enjoyed that when I was testing it. I'd say decor, but that's what I'm doing right now. In midnight, there'll be more decor to farm in new and exciting places. Maybe I'll finally get my house, like, sort of set up once I feel like I have enough stuff to work with. If I ever feel like I have enough stuff to work with. Maybe I'll never have enough. That's really far. Are you gonna teleport me or anything? Travel to the Throne of Tides. Swim. Oh, okay. Let me try the seahorse. Okay, well I don't have a Vashir seahorse. For whatever reason. Although I have this one. I can't tell if this is faster or if he's just wiggly. Well, it'll look cute anyway. It's still funny to me that the Vashir Seahorse is a character-specific mount. I feel like it's the only one. Rare Seahorse, but not the basic. Some of my characters must have the basic Seahorse, but for whatever reason, it doesn't give it account-wide. My house is level 5 at the cap. Yeah, there's lots of water speed mounts. I was using auto before. I didn't feel like he was really going at this speed, though. I feel like he was going a bit slower. I could be just imagining it, though. So weird. Have you seen the Silvermane Night Elf exterior customizations? They're so cute. Yeah, they look great. I know a lot of people have been waiting for those. Maybe he just looks like he's going faster because he looks like he's working so hard. Once we get set up with the Shaman Hall, I pretty much just want to kind of get there and get a mission or two rolling. Maybe start the research, because her research is going to take ages. I'm being flushed. I forgot that the Throne of Tides had a real entrance somewhere. Definitely miss Brewing Storm from Lemix and Retail. It was nice casting while moving. Still no Famu mount. It's so mean. Oh. That's rude. Heal Sea Giant. Sure. Okay. He has very large shoulders. He looks like he blew them up with a balloon. This is kind of a fun, or at least different, artifact campaign. A lot of them kind of overlap with each other in terms of where you're going or which characters you're dealing with. I know a couple of my characters ran into Zakaj. This one feels pretty specifically shamany. The reason I'm not doing it on Remix is because I need to do missions anyways for the Recruit 20 Troops achievement. So skipping them doesn't necessarily make a ton of sense. Oh, I should probably save him. He's gonna die. There we go. Remix is also gonna end at some point, and I don't really want to deal with it anymore. I bought everything from the vendors. I did a few artifact appearances. I leveled a few alts. I feel remixed out. I think I'm done with it. He's coming. Preferred fastest way to level alts on Remix. I was taking them through raids at the earliest opportunity. I would do the artifact quests to get the artifact, because that was good XP and would get me to kind of to 10, and then I would get into an Emerald Nightmare normal, and then a Nighthold normal. And with all the experience buffs, even just those two would get me pretty close. Go back for your giant friend. He moved it. We're doing okay. We're keeping it together. We're gonna have a wave gauntlet. Ooh. The jellyfish elevator was cool, though I don't think we're gonna get to ride it this time. Did you guys like this dungeon? I thought it was beautiful. I thought it was so visually cool. Also, I've never seen the elevator like this before. The actual mechanics of the fights, some of them I kind of like better than the others. The end two fights I feel like I'm not a huge fan of. The witch that I'm approaching is fine though, and then the smashy guy was kind of cool too. Yes. It's time for her to sing the song of the people. Like the Dragonflight rework of it, the original Kata version was very annoying. Yes. You will, Bedeveld, yes. If you do the campaign on Remix, you'll get the decor that's associated with completing the campaign. Oopsies. I don't even think you have to wait until it's transferred. I think as soon as you have achievement credit for completing it, it'll just credit to your account. I've been programmed to hate all water in WoW. Stay dry. Let me mess with this for a second. No. Oh, they're moving. They're moving. I like the water effects on the columns. I think that looks really nice. I want aquarium things for my house. I know you can sort of fashion an aquarium out of different components, but I want Blizzard to give me some. I love the jellyfish. It kind of makes me sad it's totally gone now. I don't like time walking dungeons where you have to try to convince people to do optional bosses for item IDs. That's fair. Do you do that? Are you out there in party chat being like, guys, I need it. Please. Time to get my remix mage to work then. Yes. Slay. You're not the regular lady, are you? Maybe you are. Yes, and I hate it. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, man. I wonder what your approximate success rate is. I'm gonna guess 30%. Just want Mog, but especially while leveling for the XP. Back to the Maelstrom. Do you think they're gonna give me a teleport? They are. Pretty good, 70. Well, that's nice. That speaks well to the benevolence of strangers. Encouraging. Man. Shamans get such a dismal class haul. It looks like it is always raining here. I guess that's a shaman thing. This place looks damp. It's great. Maybe my textures aren't high enough. It's just given gray. It's just... This is... They do like the rain. You can tell by the way they haven't built any shelter from it. We have vertical rocks and that's it. It's a moist place. Oh, here's some shelter. There you go. I just hadn't gone far enough. Oh yeah, that's right. They have a little globy thing. I forgot. I thought it was just all that, the overlook. They don't need to pay so much attention to their skincare. I was just thinking, I feel like staying damp constantly would be terrible for my skin. That's usually how I get a rash. It's either dampness or just stress. Accept a gift. Thank you. So we found the quartermaster. They are next to the big basketball. And I'm getting the gimmies. Huh. So we have... Oh, there's wind chimes! Sort of. Yeah. Elemental shamans, or shamans get wind chimes. They get a banner and a pedestal. So transfer some resources so we can pick those up. Can I grab 5k from anywhere without a... Yeah. My resources are in fairly bad shape. 1, 2, 3. And then as we continue, there's 4 more. So there's the lamp, that's for the campaign. The scouting map is for the troops. That is for the hidden appearance. Wow, that is not that impressive. I bet you could use that in some way that's cool, but the book is nice. I like the research books. Yeah, it's almost like you've been spending them. Doing the research is very expensive. It adds up very quickly. But now at least we're set up here. So I usually pick this one, but then you don't actually have to do it. I'm going to need to nail down where the recruiters are, because we're going to be visiting them a bunch. Troops? It's interactable like all the hidden appearance decor. Raise an army for the Maelstrom. 20 troops. That's the artifact knowledge researcher. Storm's Eye Overlook within the heart of Azeroth. Alright. Yes, if you want to place a bunch of one item, you will need copies. You will need as many copies as you'd like to place. Shaman Order Hall music is intense. Is it too loud? Here. Let me crank it down a little bit. I know I've had my sound a bit high. Do you want to know what Sumptuous Fur is at today? Yes. Tell me. Best place to fish for the first fishing mount drop. The first fishing mount drop. Which one? Alright, so we're not getting another weapon. We don't want that. He's all the way on the other end of this place. 4 gold! That's much better! It's still, I mean, it's still expensive when you need, like, a lot of it. Because you need a few thousand of them, but it's better than, what was it yesterday? 30 gold? I wonder if someone lost a lot of gold trying to reset it. Oh, the sea turtle. I may be mistaking it with a different one. I feel like I farmed for that in my garrison. And I feel like another thing that's worth looking into is the fishing globe toy. I think that can drop it as well. Level 3 garrison fishing shack, yeah. Doing the catch up or within experience. It's really good. Garrison turtle is a different one. I thought the garrison could drop both turtles. I thought there were 2 turtles you could get from there. But I could be totally mistaken. It's a long time ago. One of those things. Can drop both. Hope you've been well. I lost mine. I'm doing alright. How are you? Morning, Hazel. Morning, Pet Peppy. I think I got my sea turtle in Northrend. That does sound familiar as well. Are you guys doing a ritual? Oh, you are. There he is. Man, he's looking a bit rough, isn't he? I guess he looks fine. Sorry about that, bud. Doing alright? Can you get repeats? Because that would suck. Turtles all the way down. I don't need to continue wearing my weapon here. We can put this one back on. Ritual started, ritual completed. I can't tell if they're still working on it. They're still chatting. Evening, Hazel. How goes the furniture hunt? Good evening. It's going all right. I'm just getting myself, I'm going to do some crafting today, I think, but I'm just getting myself established in a couple more order halls. This is, I think, my last one, just so I can start chipping away at the last bits I need. I have maybe 2/3, generously 2/3 of the decor from Legion order halls across all classes. So I've got a lot of stuff I need to keep kind of poking away at. One day, I guess I'll just have to make it my mission to set up camp and do the unholy one. We'll see. Neptulon's first appearance in Legion since Throne of Tides and Cataclysm. Probably spent a long time getting beat up by Ossibat. Has he appeared again since? Do you think we're going to see him again? Order halls were quite a bit of work for me too. Been sinking tons of gold, time, and effort into all the professions over the last week. It's a good way to get lots of it. Some of them are more gold than others. I was lulled into a false sense of security by how cheap it was to level Outland tailoring with just netherweave bandages. It was like 30 gold worth of netherweave to make the bandages to level the tailoring, and then they wanted 15k for the mats to make the actual decor. Oh, talk about a sucker punch. That one. Should probably let them do that for 2 minutes. I bet you we can occupy ourselves for a second. Model's cool. Don't think I've seen a similar NPC. I wonder if he just hangs out here in the order hall. Speaking of professions, really surprised that no one on my server wanted to buy the Legion Nightwell Spire. Price went down by nearly 50k. I mean, all that takes is one person who is really impatient to get rid of it, just posting it real low. That can happen if one person feels a moment's impatience. BFA Dragonflight were within crafting expensive as hell and time consuming. Yeah, I remember when I was farming that for inscription and jewel crafting. I did those ones all the way through. I'm just gonna get rid of all the stuff. I did those ones all the way through the end of War Within. It was just a lot of like, here, make 3 of these and make 3 of these and make 1 of each of these 12 things, and it's just fussy. Like, it's expensive as well, but for the most part, it's just like a lot of very fiddly things. Like, it's not like an older profession where you're just like, okay, grab 2,000 cloth and then just craft this thing for 5 minutes and you'll be great. I do not remember getting this character to 80. I must have done it in order to run chat lists on her. That sounds like what I did. It doesn't ring a bell at all, though. Oh, you know what I can do, actually? I can give her a better transmog. Her transmog needs help. Hazel is that person. Not in this particular case, but in general, as an archetype, yeah, I'm that person. That is what I do. There must be like a trading post outfit that she can wear that I feel like will be good for her. Ooh, maybe she should wear the raincoat, the rainy day outfit, and that'll make me feel better about being in the, that'll make me feel better about being under the sea down here. Rainy day coat and, oh man, the urge to mog a shovel. The ladle's always good. What else do we have that's nice and simple and a bit offbeat? And there's big sticks. Oh, the mop for sure. We're gonna call this one Soggy Krabby. We're gonna pop that on. There we go. Now I'm prepared to be in the maelstrom. Now I am ready to cast Healing Rain. I don't know that there is an umbrella staff. If there is, I don't have it. Poster behind you made me realize how long it's been since I bought a physical expansion box for WoW. Some people still collect the physical collector's editions. But yeah, I feel like most of us just get the digital one. This mug is so cute. I feel like it really works on the dwarf. I got it on the trading post. The staff, the mop is from the Siren Isle, but the rain boots and the raincoat are from the trading post. They do different colors every now and then, but I felt like yellow is the way to go. It's very curious, George. Everything floats down here. She needs a duck pet. Finally finished watching the Merlin series. Oh, I'm glad you liked it. I know some of those words. It's always fun when you really get into a show like that. Use that mog to make a Coralon cosplay. All the collector's editions, so I can't stop now. And so they get you. This is possibly sacrilege, but I had a couple of collector's editions, and at some point I actually got rid of them. I recycled them. I didn't really have a lot of room. I was doing a lot of moving. The boxes themselves no longer held a lot of meaning for me. It was just kind of stuff, and I didn't like that I had kind of this pressure to either keep collecting or to have an incomplete collection, and I decided I would rather have no collection. So I didn't keep the ones I had, and I stopped accepting new ones. I kept a couple of the, like the things that came in the box. I don't know what, but I must have a few things still poking around. But the actual boxes themselves I didn't keep. I didn't sell them. I don't sell anything. I don't sell anything. I'm not going there. Is this an hour mission or a 5-minute mission? I should double check. Why is that first boss on Dawnbreaker have to be so hard for healers? Dawnbreaker is hard in general. Yeah, it's an hour-long mission. Okay. So she's all set. Feel like I want to double check. Ooh, research. Research. When you went to Blizzard HQ, did you get any swag? I did, yeah. They gave me, I got, I think, like a hoodie or like a sweater, a zip sweater, and I got a backpack. But this was 2017, so this was 9 years ago now. I finally wore that backpack into the ground, and I only just recently replaced it. Like, when I took this most recent move, because I had used it for, like, 9 years worth of, like, trips, traveling, fishing, hiking. I finally wore that free backpack into the dirt. But moving as much as I did, and with how much I hate moving, really killed any desire I had to have any swag or collectibles. I have a sufficient amount of swag and collectibles, and I no longer, for the rest of my earthly life, need any further swag or collectibles. I am no longer as enchanted by a free t-shirt as I once was. Here, going... Here. Gotta get invited back. I don't want any more stuff. I do not want any more stuff. I appreciate the... I appreciate being included in stuff, and the events are always fun, but I have enough things. Never moving again. This is true, but this doesn't mean I need extra junk. Gonna go over to Eye of Ashar for the shaman appearance? You'd think I would. You'd think that I would. I think we should, I was looking for the researcher. I'm pretty sure I sent some research, but I know I did it on my hunter. This is the quartermaster. We visited her. I'm just gonna take a little tour and try to get my bearings down here. I haven't spent a long time in this class overhaul, and I'm not very good at it. These are target dummies? No, these are armor racks. This is such a cool thing they did back in Legion that, I mean, I guess they're only showing you the helm and the shoulders. But they used to have these armor racks. I guess they still do in your class order hall, where if you have completed a class set and you have every piece of it, it'll display on the armor rack. I don't remember it being just shoulder and helmet, but I suppose so. That's something that I feel like would be nice to have. Nice idea for housing. I feel the same way about stuff. It was very exciting to me when I was younger, and I got a lot of joy out of it, and that's great. It did its job. Obsessed with those armor racks, still missing a couple. Those were the thing that made me start collecting bracers, because up until that point, I had a more pragmatic approach to transmog, and I didn't really worry too much about getting bracers or like pants for cloth sets, because it wasn't going to show. I wasn't really going to see it. I only wanted like the big visible pieces. But if you don't have the bracers or you don't have the pants, you don't have the set completed, and that meant it wouldn't show up on that armor rack. So that was the first thing that really kind of inspired me to start finishing sets. I wonder if I don't have, I guess after this next mission, they're probably going to send me to the researcher. I'll worry about it later. Druid Order Hall ones show the full set. I thought that the priest ones did too, but maybe the shaman ones know that the most important part is just the shoulders and the helmet. Oh, definitely let us put up armor and weapon racks and housing. Evil plan to increase the bracer collection worked. Exactly. Alright, I think we've noodled around. We've spent about an hour. I think that's enough class stuff for one day. Let's do some crafting. Let's hop back on our friend here, and let's see what kind of tailoring we can get into today. I think Northrend tailoring is going to be next. I want weapon decor for the legendary weapons through Feat of Strength. That's a cool idea. If we look at Homebound, this is how I'm doing on professions. We're finished with a few of them, and I'm working through tailoring. I am, before I do anything, going to open up my Draenor one and just do the daily cooldown, because we're going to need these to buy recipes. 30. It was 38 gold yesterday for the sumptuous fur. It's so crazy. And we can go to Crystal Song Northrend to look into getting started with Northrend tailoring. Let me pull up my WoW profession guide. Profession leveling. We're looking for tailoring and we're looking for Northrend 1 through 75. I think so, anyway. I haven't done it yet, have I? Nope, haven't even learned it. Alright. Are they giving us armor rack displays for housing, or did I misunderstand? As far as I know, they are not. I just thought it was a cool idea. It's something that they had in order halls that I figured would be a nice thing, or a neat concept for them to bring about. I would love armor racks that you can display any armor on. I would love mannequins we can dress up. But it's not something that we were necessarily getting. It was just an idea. Yeah, it's probably somewhere on their list of a gazillion ideas. It's a real open-ended project they got going on there. So we're going to pick up Northrend tailoring. Okay. Olisara the Kind, who is probably next door in the first aid building, is going to teach me bandages. And that's what we're going to do. Let's get ourselves approximately 200 Frostwave cloth. Would you like to have your alts wandering around your house, or would it be creepy? I would like them to add it because I know a lot of people want that. I would never ever. It would freak me out. I don't want a character that I normally pilot walking around on its own accord. It would be like getting body snatched. Just a primal ick. Low Eyes, thank you very much for the 13-month resub. Appreciate it. I feel so sad that I hit decor cap. There's so much I want to do that I can't do right now. Oh, decor storage or like decor placement cap? I mean, both are limiting, but wouldn't mind having my alts in my yard like the login screen campfires. Yeah, I know a lot of people want to use their alts for things like follower dungeons or have them in their houses, and I hope that they add it for the sake of those people. But I am not those people. 20 Frostweave bandages here. Placement cap, gotcha, yeah. Not the doppelgangers. Your transmog is giving cartoon character coming out of outhouse with shocked expression. Yeah, he's kind of in jammies. I don't know what his weapons are about, but I put him in like a whole matching sweatsuit. I was manifesting. It's all I really want to wear in my real life. 14? I think when we get to the point of making 90 bandages, that might be a good point. Decorate my horde house, but I was on such a roll with my alliance house, it feels like a weird stop. It's so frustrating to me that your horde and your alliance house share decor, so if you want to place something in your horde house, you cannot then use it in your alliance one unless you have extra copies, and that alone is stopping me from making a horde house. I do not want to be considering the fact that I'm competing, like that my horde house is competing for decor usage. Even if I like, and I guess the obvious solution is to set it up with a completely different vibe, but it makes me just not want to mess with it at all. Wait, kind of hot, mage. Do you like him? He's my void elf. I don't remember why I made a void elf character, but at some point I did, and I gave him like the vampire treatment, and then I put him in jammies. I could not for $1 million tell you how to play mage, but that's what the one button is for. So we have that. I'm debating putting on the kettle to make a little bit of tea. I think I'm going to do it. I think we can get cozy for the rest of the stream. So I'm going to set him to making... We'll just auto-craft all of these. And then I'm going to go put on the kettle. So I will be back. Okay, I want to thank Pet Peppy for the 15-month resub. 15 months is like... almost a week. Let's see. I Managed to get up. Oh no, there it is. I thought I lost an earbud, but I just put extra junk on my desk. My horde house is on the oasis part of the beach. Doesn't make sense to have really elegant elven stuff. Yeah, maybe someday just for fun what I should do is I should make a horde house. And I think what I would really want to do is go all in with either troll or goblin themed stuff. Or maybe like a nice eclectic mix of both. Would be kind of fun. Let's pick up our items. Holy mackerel. It's a lot of recipes. A Gilded Dalaran banner and Kirin Tor Skyline banner are the two items that we can do here. I'm going to need an additional 40 cold wind lumber. Ay, and then we're going to be getting into some of this. But at least these things are like 200 gold each and not like 1,200 gold each. Although maybe I should buy them now instead of 10 minutes from now. Here. We'll buy the mats first and then we'll go farm the lumber. Alliance house, mostly using very different stuff. I'm just afraid that I'm gonna want to use all the same stuff. There's gonna be certain things that I'm gonna like, and those are the ones I'm gonna want to use. Spellweave, Moon Shroud, Majestic Zircon. The red and the blue dye. I guess it's cheap enough. It's a little cheaper to buy on the vendor directly, but we're talking silver, so. Okay, let's go get some more cold wind lumber. Ooh, I had been farming in Shalazar Basin. I think I'm gonna go try Howling Fjord, though. I must have a druid somewhere. Yeah, I'll take this one. Wish I had looked at your DFA profession rank before and after this project. Yeah, it's not something I think I'm pursuing. I'm only really picking up vendor recipes. It's probably going to improve somewhat just by virtue of picking up the vendor recipes. I think it should be mandatory to farm lumber in Grizzly Hills. I think a lot of people are farming lumber in Grizzly Hills because not only is it the quintessential forest with a banger soundtrack, but it's also a Dreamway portal, and a lot of people are using druids to farm lumber, like myself. So it's the fastest place to port yourself to from basically anywhere. But I'm going to fly, I think, to Howling Fjord just to kind of get out of the vibe. Crystal Song Forest is the fastest. It's fun if you say it like a movie trailer. Druids to farm lumber, the irony. I know. It's just perfect. Useless goblin shredders. When we're able to unlock the ability, also in just a sec, I'm just going to grab the kettle, it'll take like 2 seconds. When we're able to unlock farming on mounts, are you guys going to do that, or are you just going to stick to druid? And if you start farming lumber while mounted on like a different mount, what's your mount of choice? Obviously, it's something to be said for shredders and lumber extractors thematically. But, you know, if it could be anything, it's got to be some cool options there. 1 sec. I have a special talent where if I'm making a pot of tea, which is something that arguably just needs things from one cupboard, I walked back into the kitchen and I had left like every cupboard open. You gotta close them all just so you don't start smacking your head. Oh, okay. Gonna unlock it, mostly stick to druids. I want the new motorcycle mounts to fly. I would like to use those. Smallest mount possible. Yeah, I can see that. Like a cloud or something. All this decor inspires me to one day clean up my room, figure out my living situation. 2027, I'm gonna log in. Are we writing off 2026 already? It only just began. You've got time. Need an actual jetpack mount. How lit would it be for them to make it so that the jetpack, only the one from chat lists, actually gives you a jetpack mount? We can give up on 2026 already. This weekend is bad. 2026 is done to me. Oh man, we're writing it off real quick. Need a buffer year to warm up. Any cat trees in game? Other pet furniture? The cat tree question is a very good question. I would like to know. I started yesterday my Animal Crossing island over again for what I am hoping is the final time. I'm beginning once more. Seen people make cat trees out of decor. Yeah, you can make a cat tree with other things. I bet you they're gonna add one. We have cats. I feel like there's cat tree. I guess I'm maybe imagining this. Are there not cat trees in places like the shop with all the cats in Borealis? Me too, slowly working on mine. I'm trying, and this may not go very well, but my vibe with my new Animal Crossing save is that it is just for me. I'm never going to show it to anybody. So it's just for me. And I'm going to try to not game too hard and burn myself out. I'm going to do things if they're fun, and if they're not fun, I'm not going to do them. I'm not going to try to like collect every item or anything. I'm not going to try to collect every recipe because some of the holidays suck. Balloon farming sucks. Snow boys suck, and I'm not going to stress about it. But I'm going to try to like spend more time kind of laying things out and actually decorating the island and making it cute, because something I tend to do when I do play Animal Crossing New Horizons, especially when I start a new save file over again, is I go really hard grinding materials and racing through the early game progression, and then I kind of burn myself out and I like can't be bothered to place anything. Like, or I'm too focused on like the collecting and like the outcomes. Like I need all the rare flowers so badly that I just like take over huge chunks of my island with these kind of ugly flower propagating farms. And then I run out of steam before I actually do any actual decorating. So this time I kind of want to take a decorating first approach. I want to rush less, take it easy, enjoy the villagers. My first two, they started me with Tybalt, who's a jock, who's fine. He's a lovely tiger in a little hoodie. But then they also gave me this sheep named Frita, who has a hamburger head and a hot dog shirt and ketchup and mustard spiraled horns. My first thought was shock and disgust, but I am going to get to know her. I'm going to give her a chance. And I think she's going to grow on me. Flower breeding was insane. Yeah. It means fried in Portuguese and Spanish. Yeah, she's definitely got a fast food theme. But that doesn't mean that she's not a nice ram on the inside, so. Yeah, kind of like what's happening with housing now. Yeah. You can take the gamer out of a game, but sometimes it's hard to not just race things. I have done some decorating in WoW though. I have set up a room or two. Not many, but some. I'm gonna take this up until get about 40, maybe 50 lumber. I know you're talking about ACNH, but it reminded me my husband tried Stardew a week or so ago, and when they gave him the introduce yourself to 30 villagers quest, he noped out so fast. That one really sucks, actually. Like, there's no time frame in which you do that. They don't lock anything behind it, really. But finding all of the villagers, especially when you're new and you don't know A, who they are, and B, what they're all doing all day, it can take ages. It's awful. Very kind of you, just lol. That quest does take a bit. Or, like, you finally find someone and it's like, well, no, they've locked themselves in their home, or no, they've locked themselves in their room, or you just don't know where this person is. I started playing on PC, and I started dipping my toe into mods, like 5 or 6 years or whatever after getting into Stardew. I finally started modding it for the first time. And I haven't installed this one, but I've heard there is a mod that will mark the locations of the characters with their little avatars on the map. So you can open up the big map and at any given time see where they all are to help you track them down when you need to like find someone to give them a gift or whatever, because otherwise your next best option is to just try to memorize their schedule over time. And over time, I usually get a feel for where people are, but even now, after having played it this many times, I still don't know exactly where everybody goes in every season and every day of the week. Like, I'll check their home and their work and whatever. I know who likes to hang out at the bar in the evenings. For those wanting the small profession boost, Darkmoon Fair is up. Nice. Big map. Big map. I think I'm hungry. Hi Hazel, what's up? Hi Karma, how you doing? I am farming lumber to make the Northrend tailoring items. What I'm after right now. Go to bars. In Stardew Valley I do. In Stardew Valley I roll into the Stardrop Saloon and I buy a salad for my girl Leah. It cost me 220 gold and she loves it. Good, and you? I'm good. I'm doing alright. I'm a little worried I'm coming down with a cold. I've been very sneezy and tired and a little sore today, which is not a good sign, but we'll just hydrate, take it easy. I'm making some tea. Very nice. Wonder when Darkmoon Fair decor coming. Hopefully never. I don't want it. It'll come eventually, I'm sure. They'll add something. Speaking of tea, is it ready? Not bars in real life. Not a big bar in real life person. I have set foot in them at various times in my life when social situations require me to. Hasn't happened very much. Probably less than 10 times. Not my natural environment. Not a place that I'm real pleased being. Especially now that I don't drink. But even when I did drink, I would prefer to just drink at home. Angela Chapman, thank you for the 4-month resub. Hi, Hazel and Chat. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Is Darkmoon Fair your least favorite part of the game? It might be. I just burned out on it. I did too much of it. I did a bunch of it for the insane title, and I did a bunch of it to get the Darkmoon dirigible mount, and then I was just kind of done. I also dislike how annoying it is to get there to pick up leveling buffs. Do you go to BlizzCon? I have been to BlizzCon. I don't go every year. I'm not going in 2026. I don't know about going out at a bar IRL on my own. I have to awkwardly talk to random people. People don't like strangers. Some people are good at it. Some people are really good at entering a situation like that and then leaving with like 6 new friends. I am not one of those people. And that's okay. That's alright. Not all of us have to be. If anything, skipping bar culture in my 20s and 30s has saved me some money. I have plenty of bad habits, but at least I like to think that the ones that I do have don't. They cost me time, which you can argue time is money, but at least I'm not directly spending money. Mostly just wasting my time. Hi, kitty. Are you coming around? Yeah, you want to come up? Come on up here. I got a heated blanket. You know you love that. Hi. Yeah. Hi. How are you? How are you doing? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Turn around. Especially if you're a goblin. I don't know how much overlap there is between good at socializing in bars people and I spend my free time playing a 20-year-old online MMO people. I know some people that do a regular bar scene. They're often people that kind of like know the bartenders, or they live near the bar, or the bar is just like a place where key parts of their social life happen, like their other friends like to go to the bar regularly. It's not a bad thing. It's a time-honored tradition in human culture. But it's just not mine. Don't get me wrong, I'm not hating on the bars. Time you enjoy wasting is not wasted time. Yeah. Time you're just trying to get out of your own head so you can try to make all the feelings stop is kind of wasted time. Sometimes it's part of the process, but there's having fun and then there's just avoiding things. And then sometimes it's a little column A and a little column B. Hi, baby girl. How you doing? Buddies and I used to go every weekend, got free drinks because we knew the bartender. on both of those. Hi. You're so sweet. They say that since the pandemic, bar and pub culture happening less. Sure, it's still alive in some places. There's some places where that's like the only place that anything happens. There's towns where there's a bar, and if you want to go socialize, that's where it happens. There's nothing else really going on unless you already know people. Yeah, not in New England. Like a bar hang, don't do it a whole lot. New Englanders love drinking. How we doing? We got 42 lumber. We could make our things. Let's get to 50. Nice cute number. Huh, there's a whole world online in Azeroth for you. I tell you guys, Azeroth would not be the same without all you guys to come spend it with me. Third spaces are very important. Bars fall under that ideology. I love the discourse around third spaces because I don't know about you guys. I don't even have a second space. The 3 spaces are supposed to be your home, your work, and then a third one that is neither your home nor work, like your library or your coffee shop or your mall or your bar or whatever it is. I don't even have a second one. I just do the one. I have one space. I am home. I am on the road to agoraphobia. Yeah, gym is third space for some people. Only heard corporate third places talk about third places. Yeah, I think our society is, at least in some countries, is just kind of changing, especially among people like us that tend to be quite online. Time to bring back Rotary clubs. They never left either. They're just not recruiting a ton of young people. There must be some young people getting into them, but they seem largely like places for our grandfathers to hang out with each other. People have spaces. Work and play. Wow, my actual bedroom. No free space for me to have an office. I do. Yeah, that's true. I do at least have a different room. I am at home, but I'm not in my bedroom. Yeah, separate space. True. Hi, baby girl. I definitely feel like when I'm here, though, I am, like, still available at home. Like, if one of the animals needs me or there's, like, a chore that needs doing, I'm, for all intents and purposes, here. You don't get that same separation that you get when you go to a workplace. Well, only reason I missed church because of the third space and socializing. BlizzCon tickets, $290. The ticket is the cheapest part of going to BlizzCon. You'll spend more money just eating over the weekend than you will on the ticket. I think the only people for whom the ticket is the expensive part is people that, like, live close enough to just kind of, like, go there without having to get accommodations. Or I guess some people still do the thing where there's, like, 10 guildies will go in on, like a renting a house or something. Yeah, just don't eat. You could be like me. When I used to go to BlizzCon, I would save money on at least breakfast and the occasional dinner. And this is sort of sad, but I would bring instant oats and a little electric travel kettle to my hotel room. And I would get water from the little bathroom sink in my hotel room, and I would heat it up in my little kettle, and I would make myself my oats. And I would eat them out of a little bowl, which I would then clean in the bathroom sink as best as I could. You'd wipe all the oats out of it so you don't jam the poor sink, and then you rinse it off in the sink. Your little tiny thing of dish soap, because I did not care for paying $12 for, like, a half a cup of yogurt that someone has decided they're going to call a parfait. Bring oats with me when I travel. Yeah. You gotta eat, but I used to pack granola bars too. I would keep granola bars in my suitcase, so if I ended up back at my hotel room and I was hungry but I didn't want to go out, I could have something just to sustain me. It's not sad. It was a little sad. I had one moment when I was at BlizzCon and I was having my sad little oat bowl alone in my hotel room because I was too anxious to go out and meet anybody. And in my brain, I'm sure it wasn't true, but in my brain, everybody else had waited all year for this. They were partying with their friends. They were having the best time. They were eating together. And I was so sad and alone that I just burst into tears. I had my little oat breakdown of 2000, and I forget if it was 18 or 19. I was not a happy camper. Oy. Going this year, it's my first time. It'll be tons of fun. It's the place where everybody is kind of, you have something in common with like everybody. If I'm someone for more than a couple of days, I'm assuming somewhere. If I'm somewhere for more than a couple of days, I go to a local grocery store and get some stuff like nuts, bagged salad mix to have for meals. Oh man, nuts in this economy? Economy? Pretty boring unless you meet up with guildies. Yeah, note breakdown. A note down, if you will. My guildies never went. My guildies go to Comic-Con. They don't go to BlizzCon. Used to go hide in the kitchen at a party, but I feel like there aren't enough kitchens to hide in at BlizzCon. Yeah, you can hide in your room if you get a room that's close enough to the convention that you can just kind of walk back there. But yeah, not a ton of hiding space. Meow. How are we doing? 64 lumber. Wowee. That'll do. Big fluffy snow just started. Gonna be real cute. Nice. Meow. I think maybe that was the moment that I realized that becoming a YouTuber wasn't gonna mean that I had any friends. Because when I was like a young adult, like a teenager, and I was watching YouTube, and I didn't really have a lot of friends, I would watch YouTubers that were friends with each other, playing games together and making videos, and I was like, so this is how it's done. Surely, if I make content and become known online, this built-in social circle of other creators is going to spawn right in along with it, and it will be happy and fun and will not have any kind of strangeness or baggage. And that's how it's going to be. And, you know, you do the work and you make some videos and you get your foot in the door and you meet some people. But it turns out you can't just manifest a friend group. And being friends with people that are in the same, like in this field, is always a little bit weird. I do have some friends. Nobody that I like really keep up with regularly, but it's just an odd thing because everybody becomes kind of quantified by what they can offer each other in terms of like exposure. And people still are real and will chat and hang out and stuff, but people are also very busy. People usually have their own friends that are actual friends that are outside of being a creator, you know, like you usually set up that boundary. You're not just going to go be besties with people. I don't know. Also, I never had that much friend-making mojo anyway, so we just do this instead now. I was going to go to the bank and dump in my lumber, and then we're going to make our Northrend. We're going to make our Northrend stuff. Dipsy, thank you very much for the brand new sub. Appreciate it. Yeah, everyone becomes co-workers. Not so much because you're competing. That never really, that part never really got into my head. I know some people get a bit anxious about that. But not every colleague will become a friend. We used to pack a hotel room with 10 people or so for anime conventions back in college, along with the mandatory 2 boxes of Instant Cup ramen. Yeah, it's fun. I did an anime convention once as a teenager, and it was in Vancouver, and one of my friends had, like, a relative in Vancouver, so all of us went and stayed at, like, so-and-so's aunt's house or whatever, just meeting some relative that you never knew and never met, never would again, and then piling into their basement with your costumes and your makeup and stuff. That was fun. It was weird. It was a crazy weekend. I was maybe 15, 14? This character is my mage. I had a couple of costumes. We had a different costume for each day. I had made at least one of my costumes, and then some of my friends were better at making costumes than I was. I didn't take supernaturally to cosplay crafting. And some of my friends had more costumes than they had days to wear them, so they would make extra costumes for me to wear, and I would model their cosplays. You're in the right age bracket where friends start having children, which can be divisive too. I think in this kind of, especially in this like Pacific Northwest culture, around my age, it becomes very normal for people to end up kind of isolated into their nuclear family groups, like you and your partner, and then you and your partner and your kids if you have kids. Like, it becomes very normal to really start to only see, like, your parents or your siblings, or just your, like, largely just your partner. It's not everybody. Some people still maintain, like, a regular social life. But as your peers start kind of, like, moving away for jobs or having kids, it's a lot harder to, even if you didn't do what I did and, like, move around and ghost your entire life, like, 5 times in a row, it becomes hard to maintain that same kind of regular hanging out with people. If you have good friends, you'll hold on to them. They are not easy to replace. What are we doing? We are popping into Northrend here. Being a no-kids family is such a pain when all your friends have kids. I mean, I feel like it gives you more flexibility in that you can just kind of like tag along. It's easier to show up to something that includes kids when you don't have kids than vice versa. You just have to be chill with hanging out with the kids, you know. That's fine. You kids make friends, you hang out with their parents, that is often new friends. Yeah, you just go to them. Alright. Are these things cool? I haven't actually looked at the appearances. There's the Skyline banner. It's kind of a lumpy cloud. It sort of reminds me of scrambled eggs. And then here is the Gilded Doll banner. That one's pretty. That's nice. We can vendor some of our heavy frostweed bandages here. Cloud looks like what's inside stuffed animals you win at a fair. So after Northrend comes what? Cataclysm? Let's look at Cataclysm. We're going to need Ember Silk is what's going to happen next. So let's go back to Stormwind. Actually, let me pop open Homebed and make sure I need it. I'm pretty sure I do. Tailoring. Next up is Cataclysm Tailoring. Oh yeah, I wanted this Unity of Thorns tapestry. This tent seems like it's going to be a lot of lumber. Yeah, 35. Actually, not that bad. The tapestry's 26. Yeah, back to Stormwind. Some kids can be ruthless. I saw one crying at Disney because she wanted a stroller like that one lady over there. And when we look over, that lady had no legs and definitely noticed the girl pointing at her. Yeah, little kids don't always have the filter yet. 75% Legion, so much to do here. Nice. Yeah, Legion I feel like is going to take me just as long as everything else put together. Although I think that's just because I'm allergic to class campaigns. I've been putting them off for so long. I just gotta plug my nose and do it. I might have to do it off stream. That might be the solution. When I can, like, play a movie or something that will make me not remember what I'm doing. The digital version of anesthetic. Tailoring. Tailoring's gonna be this way? Might be easier to get done then. I don't have so many of them left to do. Huh. So we know Cata tailoring. And it is a 1 of 75. So according to my guide, I'm going to need about 185 Ember Silk cloth, maybe a little less. Let's see how expensive Ember Silk is. Yeah, that's fine. That's not a problem. We will most likely need to stop by the bandage trainer. Yeah, we gotta go back and see Angela again. must have it already. We do. So we're going to make 25 of these. Enjoy our tea. I think I have it pretty good, though. I think any time that I would have been dedicating to a social life, I pretty much just dedicate to my dog and my cat. You just cuddle with the fluffs. Moose will take all the attention I can give him. And I can give him a lot. I can give him an awful lot. They're both very lovable. They're such sweet pets. They're so much fun. So now we're going to train heavy ember silk bandages and make a bunch of those. Excited about making these catatailoring items. I've got another hour and 20 left of stream. I wonder if I can get through. I guess we might hit some stopping points. Legion can sometimes be tricky. And then Draenor, of course, we're just kind of doing daily cooldowns right now. How is it you're crafting those without a crafting table? Crafting tables only really become necessary for Dragonflight and War Within professions. There's a couple of niche recipes earlier that needed to go places, but generally speaking, you don't need them until you get to the new stuff. Foster is feeling much healthier. Sadly, that has only given her the energy to be more spicy. Embracing who she is on the inside. Yeah, I might put the rose tapestry up. That one might end up finding a place in my home. Yeah, it's funny how when the pets decompress, all of a sudden they turn into like different people. Moo Bear was characterized by the shelter as the calmest of his litter. He was the quiet one. And I guess he's vocally quiet, like especially now that he's growing up and like settling down. He doesn't make a peep. He doesn't talk, he doesn't bark. But personality-wise, especially when he was a puppy and a teenager, as soon as he like settled in and decompressed, he became like an absolute menace. He was anything but subdued. It's like, oh yeah, this is a really chill puppy. Like, sure, he's chill now. But I did not get him because he was chill. Hairdresser talk all day to different people. When I get home, I'm so peopled out, but I do miss doing things with friends sometimes. Yeah, I get that. I used to love spending time with my hairdresser. I would go there because we would do different colors of my hair, and I could easily be there for like 6+ hours at a time. So we would basically hang out for the whole day. That was always fun. Sometimes after I'm done stream, I kind of want like some alone time to sort of, because I've been speaking with people all morning, I kind of want to not speak for a while. Retract into my own head where the spiderweb caves are. I am the correct level, so I need to go back to the tailoring trainer and learn the decor recipes, then figure out how much ashwood lumber we're going to need. When I applied for Moose, I just applied for Moose. His siblings were not available. He was the last one that was available. They had already picked people for his siblings. He had a sister and a brother. His brother was characterized as being crazy, like, and I'm pretty sure that he went to a farm. I don't know where his sister went. She seemed really sweet. She was cute. She looked like a husky. His brother looked like a golden lab, like a yellow lab. And his sister looked like a purebred husky. And then Moose, of course, looks a lot more like a German Shepherd. Just absolute dice rolls of genetics over there. They were cute. Unity of Thorns. Oh, I do have a decent chunk of lumber. I'm gonna need a little bit more. We're gonna need a total of about 60. Let's get another. Let's go get like 20 more lumber, just to kind of overshoot it a smidge. I was farming this in Oldham, is what I was doing. That's where I had gone. That's wild. Yeah, it's funny how that can happen. Kittens are like that sometimes too. Sometimes you'll see a litter of kittens and you'll be like, well, this one doesn't match. Where did this one come from? And Shadowlands came out, you'd see like 50 cradles drive by in Ardenweald. So if I want to go to Oldham, I'm probably just going to go Stormwind and then take the Oldham portal, and we'll go just get a little stuff along the Whiptail corridor. I want to peek though. I want to peek ahead at what's coming after this part. So we're going to do the Cata tailoring. I've already done Pandaren tailoring. Draenor tailoring, I guess I can buy my mats and I can get it leveled, but we're not going to be able to make... I guess I could make one of them. I could maybe get to the Elec plushie. And then Legion tailoring. I only need one more item from Legion tailoring. I might look into buying it instead so I can just bypass that. We'll see. We'll see when we get there. Okay. Oldham must be one of my top 5 favorite zones of all time in WoW. I always liked going there. I liked leveling there. I liked farming there. I liked doing archaeology there. I did a lot of archaeology there, looking for the Vial of the Sands recipe. And for the Scarab Mount as well. Been doing here almost 30 years. Totally understand what you mean. They might add more things to Legion tailoring. They might. They might not. Who's to say? I guess what I should do is I should look at Legion tailoring and see how easy or annoying it might be. Because some of them need you to engage with the quest lines and some of them don't. Jewel crafting, I don't know if I needed to, but I ended up doing like the whole quest line. For Inscription, I didn't have to do the quest line, but I ended up needing to grind like extra ranks of recipes in order to level without spending an insane amount of gold to get my Legion Inscription up. Tailoring cloth is so cheap though. Or at least it's come down. Legion cloth might be expensive. Well, I have to see. Cross that bridge when we get there. If it's going to cost me more to level the profession than to buy the one item out of 3 that I'm missing, I'll probably just buy the item. That's what I'm doing for some of the engineering. At least for the moment. I really like collecting profession decor though, because every individual piece or profession is like its own little rabbit hole. But it's like such a nicely self-contained rabbit hole. Like I can more easily keep track of what I'm doing and where I'm going and what's next doing this than I can with class order halls. Class order halls I get lost a lot. This is I find really relaxing. Plus, it's punctuated with lots of lovely little lumbering breaks where I get to just stop and enjoy picking up the lumber that I need to make the next batch of things that I unlocked. I said I was going to get 20. Well, yeah, maybe 25 of these. Love seeing all the numbers go up with profession. I think the profession decor is some of the nicest decor that we have available in the game right now. Profession's been my lowest score in ATT for a while now. Dawn of the Infinite does not have a daily locket, and one full run gives you 4 sparks for 3-point recipes. Oh. That's a good tip. BTW quest, good for navigating the Legion. I keep BTW quests installed, if not activated. Because every now and then I do need it to kind of like unpick myself from like a big thorny mess. But I find, I don't know what is wrong with me. I have almost as rough of a time navigating BTW quests as I do just kind of pulling up the quest line on Wowhead and trying to figure it out that way. I don't find that BTW quests is much better. I think it is. It's just something about it that's not compatible with me. But I find myself getting really lost in it. And also, I think I'm holding against it that it's one of those add-ons that occasionally really likes to throw errors and prevent me from doing other unrelated things. Usually, if I grab like the name of a quest or an item, I can usually pick apart the quest line of Wowhead. And then Wowhead pages for quests will have a script you can enter to manually check whether or not you've done that quest. So I can usually kind of detective my way through it that way. Not always. The worst part is when you've nailed down exactly where you're meant to be going next, and you're like, oh, it's that place I checked 12 times. It's phased because I didn't do the intro to some other completely irrelevant expansion. The BFA intro in particular, the BFA intro and the Dragonflight intro, and then I guess the War Within one as well, are all notorious for blocking other things happening in the city where your breadcrumbs are. To the point that I feel like next time I'm doing a class order hall thing, I'm just going to make sure they're done just by default, even if it's a character I'm never going to play through those expansions on. Just because sooner or later they're going to get in your way. Need better BFA skips. The Alliance one's not so bad. You just have to kind of run around through the city and do the tour. But the Horde one, you have to wait for like your strike team to have a decent conversation before they let you skip to Dazarlor. And then it's a decent chunk of noodling around getting yourself set up into the pyramid to the point that you get the portals. I don't know if you need to do all of that, but that's usually the point that I unlock BFA to. I feel like the Horde one's easier. At least they don't make you do the scenario anymore. Remember when that was a thing? There's a search box in BTW. Mm-hmm. Search box in Wowhead too. Might be the biggest thing stopping me from swapping mains. So much stuff is phased and locked behind doing an intro activity. Yeah, it drives you nuts. It makes sense if the thing that is, if it's part of the same content. That makes sense to me. But often it's like a completely different expansion that they want you to start just because there's some wonky phasing happening in Stormwind because of an auto-accept quest you didn't even know you had. That's why I don't touch my Horde ults if I need to go to Undercity. Yeah. I like a lot of the things that have happened to WoW. I've enjoyed playing WoW through all these modern expansions, but I do think that every year it gets a little worse. Every new expansion they layer on top of it makes all of that stuff just a little bit worse and makes it a little bit more annoying to go back if you're on a character that is newer. Because it didn't used to be that rough to navigate back when there weren't so many layers of... Yeah, exactly. Everyone worsens the old expansions. It degrades it. I think it's also that we used to, when there was only like 3 or 4 expansions, be able to kind of remember all of the, like, where everything is and where everything was given. And at least for me, once you get to this point in, I'm not holding on to that information anymore. I'm not remembering where it's supposed to be in the first place. So I'm not as immediately confident when the NPC is not where they should be, that they should have been there at all. I don't always immediately clock that there is a phasing issue going on, because I only vaguely feel like maybe there should be somebody there, but I'm not confident enough to like actually be like, oh, this is broken, I need to do something. Plus Wowhead. Indeed. I don't think I would have made it this long without Wowhead. Yeah. Most of the info is not relevant. Until it is the annoying thing. You can never quite throw out a piece of information because it ends up coming up for like weird things later. But also things change so much over time that a piece of info that you have can be like super outdated super quickly. Then you end up with people getting into arguments about like, no, this thing works this way. It works this way. And well, they're both right at different points in time. Yeah. Whenever I'm looking something up via Wowhead comments now, I'll check the top comment, but I'll also filter it in new, and I'll check the new comments. Because that will very often have more modern context that use what you actually need to figure out what it is that's going on. I guess I was thinking, I wonder how a new player who is just trying to like get to grips with WoW in general would even navigate all of this, but I guess they wouldn't. They either wouldn't or they would just give up. Because a lot of these things we're doing is because we're trying to go back and collect stuff. Which isn't usually the first thing somebody gets into in a new character. Dragonflight, one of my alts got into a phasing nightmare where they had to talk to an NPC on a bridge, but there was also an event from another thing on the same bridge, and there was lots of fire and death. I had something happen. That's really frustrating. I had something happen once where I needed to speak to a phasing NPC to phase the zone, but the phasing NPC was phased. I don't remember where it was. I feel like that happens at a couple of points. But I was trying to find a thing, and people in my stream chat are like, go talk to Zadormi, and I'm like, she ain't here! Believe me, I'm trying. That would be nice. You dog, I heard you liked phasing. Yeah, Undercity's got all kinds of problems now. Maybe that's how they're trying to get us to not go to old zones that are, like, technically lore-wise not there anymore, is they're just gonna make it really annoying. How are we doing stone and ashwood lumber. We got 40 pieces. That should do us. That should just about do it. Let's pop her back where we to a bank. Dame, thank you very much for the 28-month resub. Appreciate it. Thanks for being here. Yeah, I found that most of the Dormy issues are BFA intro related. Doing the BFA intro often fixes that. But every little piece we get done is a piece that we don't have to do again. How does it feel to be the queen of WoW? I have my queenly teacup today too. I was popping my lumber in the war bank. I think it auto dunks now because I have an add-on. I think Housing Lumber Helper is dunking my lumber, which is good. Bring me my tailor. He needs, if I'm gonna keep him in these PJs, I have to give him different shoes. Like some big socks or something. I know there's like big fluffy sock transmog. Or even just like some boots would be cute. I feel like he could pull off some Uggs. Who's that mapping mod I had for profession materials? Yeah, I got Farm HUD. It's really good for lumber farming. So we're looking at Cataclysm. We're gonna track these guys. We're gonna purchase our materials. Gonna double check that Ember Silk cloth is not cheaper to bolt myself. Hang on. Why can't I find it? I'm going crazy. Cloaks, boots, pants, gloves, belts, braces, robes and tunics, shoulders, hats and hoods, bags, spell threads, materials. Oh, there it is. It is a 5 gold profit to bolt it myself. Alright, I have some left over. We're gonna just do that. 5 gold per bolt is not nothing. Yeah, Murloc feet or Wendigo feet or something. Big slippers. Those look like he has bark feet. Yeah. Two mogs I still need from Halls of Valor that wasn't on the remix vendors. Oh, that's annoying. Yeah, so we can at this point probably buy the rest of it. I just need 2 more bolts of cloth. Obsidian bars, which are going to be kind of expensive. Yeah, not too bad. How do we feel about powerful ghostly spell thread? Not good. Can I make powerful ghostly spell thread? No. What would it take to make powerful ghostly spell thread? A world vendor and 8 bolts of ember silk and 1 piece of dream cloth, which binds on pickup. How many do I need? 4? Ah, very well. Fine. You win this time. Aga, excuse me? Inferno ink. I literally have... Oh, I feel like the herbs for it were expensive, though. There was a reason. The herbs for it were really expensive. I did Kata Inscription. And I remember it was expensive. Inferno ink. Dreamcloth made from a few daily cooldowns. You mean the shield? Oh, you're talking to Haley. Just lost. So Inferno ink takes 2 burning embers, which you get from milling. You get rarely when you're milling stuff like Cinderbloom, Whiptail, Twilight's Blossom. What about the burning embers? You can trade for them. They cost Ink of Dreams. Looking for ink. I'm making a tailoring item, but it wants ink. I'm just trying to sniff out if it's profitable to mill the herbs to make it myself. $1.68 Inferno ink to 1 stack of Whiptail. I'm assuming they mean a 20 stack of Whiptail and not... So, if I... Because I was herbing some Whiptail for a second. Whiptail is 14 gold per. 20, 300 gold, 1 Inferno ink, 400 gold. 760 Cinderbloom. To make 19 Inferno ink. 760 divided by 19. 40 Cinderbloom per ink. 40 Cinderbloom costing approximately 500. Alright. Does not look like it's going to be much cheaper to make. This is probably the thing that's continuing to make these prices inflated. The next best bet would probably be ink trading, but I think that I would rather just buy it. Let's just spend the 2,400 gold. Suck it up, princess. Yeah. Your best bet is probably if it's tradable. You can trade Inferno ink for various types of other ink. So there's probably a cheaper one that you can trade it for. But yeah, I'd rather spend 2,400 gold than go try to figure out what the best way to do that is. Oh, and we're gonna need 2 dream cloth as well. I guess I didn't pick that up yet. Oh, you can't do dream cloth. I'm gonna need to do a daily cooldown. I thought I was gonna be able to purchase it. Right? Wrong? Hang on. It is a bind on pickup. Thinking. Oh, once a week. Here, let's do an auction of scan to get our most up-to-date things. Yeah, the dream of recipes, yeah. I think the old mats are going to stay more relevant than they had been because there will be a baseline level of demand for decor basically forever. They're not going to stay as high as they are now when the system's brand new, but I think they will not fall to what they were before. Okay, so that one, 800 gold worth, 500, 400. It looks like the earth are the cheapest ones. Double check that. Really? 9 gold per? 7 gold per. Is there a lot of those? There are, alright. Well, let's get 30, because it seems like that might be a cooldown. 6-day cooldown. Not a shared cooldown, so I can do one of each. That's fine. Let's get the life next. Wow, that is not how you spell remotely. Volatile life. Dreamcloth is weird. You can combine them together in a recipe that calls for Dreamcloth, and those are on separate cooldowns. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's a bit strange. At least I'm just glad that I'm going to be able to do this within one day. I didn't really want another daily cooldown thing to keep track of. Very good. I wonder if that's influencing the value of the Unity of Thorns tapestry. I'm going to check that just for fun. Undermine exchange. Unity of Thorns. Looks like 27k on my realm. Cheapest price North America. Someone's selling those for one of those for 5,000 gold. That is arguably not even breaking even. Yeah, Kelthalos has a bunch of them up, and the cheapest one is 5k gold. That's probably better than crafting it. But we can make it now for me. I've got the materials, and we'll just need a little bit more Ember Silk cloth. Bolts of cloth are 5 each. 5 per, so 5 times, we're gonna say 16, 80 cloth. 80 more. How are you, Hazel? I'm doing alright. How are you? Ember silk cloth. 80. Were you also doing you just started Animal Crossing, right? I was thinking about you because I started mine over last night. BRB going to Quel'Thalia's. This is the problem right now. Yeah. I mean, it works in your benefit if you want to just kind of like skip some of the crafting grinds by just buying it instead. You can just find the cheapest one to buy and do it that way. Who did you get as your starter villagers? So for my jock, I got Tybalt, who is very cute. He's a tiger. He's got a little hoodie. Happy with him. And then for my sisterly villager, my Uchi villager, they gave me Frita. Frita, Frita, who has a hamburger head and a hot dog shirt. Nordersill, thank you very much for the 18 months at tier 3, no less. Cheers. Frita is so cute. You like her? I was kind of overwhelmed. I didn't feel so good about it. It'll make me feel better if I think other people pursue this villager. She kind of jump scared me. Better than Flo and Dom? Oh, I like Flo. Alright. There is our Surwich Expedition tent. And I kind of want to pop back onto my main for a second just to see how big it is. All the food-themed villages are adorable, but I totally get the jump scare. I mean, I like the ones that are themed of cute food. You know, there's a little elephant that's got a teacup thing going on. That's adorable. I think there's a cupcake kind of villager. That's cute. Love Dom. I gotta look this up. ACNH Dom. Yeah, that's adorable. Dom is a jock. Tia and Meringue are on my island. It's just hamburgers and hot dogs. It's like somebody's 9-year-old birthday party. On the same sheep. So this character is going... I'm going back to my house, but I'm going to pop by my order hall real quick. Screamed when I found them while hunting. Feel blessed that my sisterly starter was Pashmina. The sisterlies are like a real mixed bag. I like the personality type, but they have some wild visuals. One of my islands, my default starter sisterly was Hazel, who shares my name, which is very cute of her. And she's cool. She's a little squirrel. But she has a unibrow. Meringue was one of my favorites for a long time. ACNH Meringue. Yeah. Love that. Little strawberry horn on her. Genji and Hazel instantly fell in love with them. Genji's great. Genji's fantastic. Don't talk bad on my girl Hazel. Here, I'll show you. ACNH Frida. I'll show you what I'm talking about with my... there she is. So there's the hot dog shirt. Hang on, let me try to find another angle of her. There must be other images here that lets you really see your head. Like the back of her head, because it's got a whole, she's got a whole burger up there. I feel like I'm on a list for Googling the behind of a character, but I'm not finding it. Her fur is fries. Her fur is fries. Yeah, she seems fun. She's got personality. You'll never not notice her. No, I can't find another angle of her. Just believe me when I say she has a hamburger head. Want to get back into Stardew. I started my ACNH because I almost burnt myself out on Stardew. I was Stardewing way too much. I was kind of pursuing perfection. And I still am, but it's too much for one go. I'm rushing it too much. I'm getting carried away. Are her bones French fries? Also want to get back into Stardew. I have no self-control with Stardew. I can't just play a little bit of Stardew. I'm either playing no Stardew or I'm on an absolute bender. Alright, it looks like my guys aren't ready yet. Anyway. We were going back to the house to check out the Sir Witch tent. That's right. January is prime Stardew time. January and February are great months to get completely sucked into a video game and forget about what's going on outside. Yeah, time doesn't exist when you're playing Stardew. Good morning from LA. Good morning, Tony. From Vancouver Island. I almost want to take down the mailbox because I want to click on it and it doesn't work yet. It's driving me crazy. I have mail. Yeah, time goes real quickly in Stardew. It takes me between 20 and 35 minutes to play through a typical Stardew day because I pause a lot. And I can easily play up to 10 in a sitting, really. Maybe more. I'm usually limited by the functionality of my hands. I was trying to check out the tent, that's right. I wanted to see the Sir Witch tent. Sir Witch Expedition tent. Yep, it's a tent. It's big. It's kind of cool. I'm not keeping it, though. What else did we get recently? Let me go put up that Thorns tapestry. We spent enough gold on it. ACNH update soon. Yeah, I wanted to get settled in a new island before update came out. I am excited for Haunted Chocolatier. Is it ever going to come out? Or is it getting Dream of Spring? Concerned Ape doesn't owe me anything, but I don't know if it's ever gonna... I don't know. I'm just as happy to keep playing Stardew forever. Unity, that's what it was called. Unity of Thorns tapestry. It's nice. Yeah, happy with that. I was watching a TikTok earlier today of this artist who said Harvey was the third most popular bachelor. People bought Sebastian, Shane, and then Harvey. What? Do you think it's because the people that have the disposable income to buy Stardew Valley keychains are the people that would prefer the older bachelors? Because those are the 3 adult bachelors. This is house number... I only have 1 house. I don't have a second house. I didn't make one yet. Probably 2030 at this rate. I can't even give shade. If I was making anything creative that was a big project like that, I would be exactly the same way. I am the kind of girl that would not finish a thesis if I was trying to get a degree. Big projects that are self-paced are my absolute kryptonite. What's in your fell cage? Oh, so glad you asked. Dun, dun, dun. He will be free when the house is done. Haley and Leo are most popular for the girls. Leah, I get. Haley's a little bit out of left field, but maybe people like that she's rude to you. Some people just want someone to to talk to them like that. Okay, lovely. Is there a way to get cool gear without farming old raids? I mean, there's lots of cool gear and new content. I get a lot of my favorite sets for the trading post. That's where most of my favorite transmog comes from. This outfit is trading post, and this outfit is trading post as well. Back to tailoring. Find out where we're going next. Oh no, I lost him. There he is. There he is. Oh yeah, I was gonna put boots on him too. That's right. Hard to resist picking Nami every time I play Harvest Moon because I love how grumpy she is. I like being bullied by women. Missed out on the spooky October trading post last year because of work. Aw. I haven't tried to romance Haley yet because we share a name. Abigail and Leah are my favorites. I've never romanced Haley either. Maybe I should. I haven't picked a spouse for my current Stardew playthrough. I normally go with Harvey, but I kind of wanted to pick something else, but I don't like any of the rest of them enough. I'm gonna say something upsetting. I was telling my spouse that maybe this time around, and I'm not gonna do this, but maybe I marry Shane so that I can divorce him, because I feel like that would really add to his vibe. Since Transmog is the real WoW endgame, does that mean Trading Post makes WoW pay to win? Yes. Yeah. Shane needs something to just push him over the edge. Checking on what I'm making next. It's not Pandaria, because we did Pandaria. Tailoring. It's Draenor. Let's go back and have a look at it. I'm going to pull some more gold out of the Warbank, because I'm going to need a bunch of gold to level this. I'll grab probably another 50k or so. It's worth it. Furniture isn't cheap. You need to play Stardew, never have. I love it a lot. It's my perfect game. It took me a little bit to get into, and I thought I wouldn't get into it because I thought I didn't really want to play like a pixel art game, but it's something I think I'm going to pick up over and over again for the rest of my earthly days. Storm Shield. Married Shane in my first playthrough. People like him a lot. He wasn't even a bachelor in the original version of the game. People just like asked for it so much that Concerned Ape patched it in. I am not a member of Team I Can Fix Him. I've never believed that about people. I firmly believe you cannot fix anybody. They can fix themselves. But at the state of where Shane is at, he doesn't need to be dating anybody. He needs to be working on himself. Style isn't my normal thing. That held me off from it for a long time. Yeah, he does give blue chickens. I think you can get them without marrying him, although I'm not 100% sure. Although maybe I could marry him, get the blue chicken, and then kick him to the curb. This is what's going to make the AI uprise. I'm leveling tailoring, which means I'm gonna need Draenor. We're gonna need a bunch of sumptuous fur, basically. I have the hexweave embroidery. I think we can just make this. We need 21 points, I believe. No, 41 points. There is a way to level this with much less sumptuous fur, but it involves getting it's finicky stuff that I don't want to bother with. Okay, so let's buy antiseptic bandages. We made those to get up to, oh, I didn't even get to 50 yet, but I should use those all the way to 50. 1500. Let's get 1800. Sumptuous fur. Yeah, it's expensive, but it's an Elec plushie. I'm gonna need the Elec plushie. So we'll keep making this until we get to 50, because even at it'll be better. Are you gonna do a Stardew stream again? Probably not. I like playing it, but I don't think that anything that I'm doing in it qualifies as entertainment. I've been trying to 100% Hades. A lot of fun. Long grind. The original or the sequel? That is a good form. Sometimes I want to main my Nelf Monk purely for the fact that she has the name Stardew. Original. Nice. I got the original Hades for my Switch, of all things. Can't wait for the next Stardew update. Finish it before I move on to the second one. That makes sense. Can't get into roguelike games at all. I love them when they're roguelite. True roguelikes that don't let you progress between runs are too harsh for me. I need some kind of tech tree I'm skilling up to help hold my hand. Okay, I think I'm gonna stop making this because this hasn't given me a skill point in a long time. We'll call that good. We'll just start cranking out these. Actually, if I can get a point out of this, that's probably cheaper just for the point with the 20 fur. Yeah, there we go. I might be able to sell off some extra. Siren Owl's farming for the mob. It's such a cute transmog, though. The mob. He's going to give us the typical stuff he's added in previous updates, like a new farm. Mentioned extra stuff, didn't want to say what yet. I love a new farm because it's just an excuse to start the whole thing over again. Every time I place a fresh Stardew file, I get a little bit more min-maxy and degenerate. I used to be so go with the flow about it, and now every time I'm like, I must start tapping the oak trees at once. 78, 79, and 880. Perfect. So now we have our skill up, so that's good. If I have excess amounts of sumptuous fur after this, we can sell it off. I can go buy one recipe. I should have a secret. Assuming I can remember where the heck I left the tailoring guy anyway. He's around here. There he is. So there's a few different patterns here. There's a rug. There's a bed. But most importantly, the beloved Elec plushie. It matches the Elec plushie I have right back there. There's the Elec plushie. It's on the shelf behind me, the real one. Pattern. Oh, do I have two secrets of Drainer Trailer? Maybe I can get two things. I kind of thought I spent one on a hexweave embroidery. No, I think I'm lagging. I think it gave me the pattern. It didn't take my thing, but I'm like disconnecting now. I'm gonna relog, see where I'm at. It's so bright. Have to have them up for my priest. For the lore of her running around the battlefield, just mopping up the blood. Been trying the new Pokemon game and it's very fine. That's how I felt about the last handful of them. I've stopped buying them. I can't... I'm just chasing the nostalgia high from my childhood. And I think I've accepted at this point that while they are fine games, they're never going to make me feel the same way I felt when I was 9. It's just not going to happen. And it's too much money. It's too many Canadian dollars. Oh, I can learn this now. Maybe I have an extra one. Maybe I can do 2 recipes. Could be true. Let's get the bed as well. And then tomorrow we can learn the, Oh, that one was instant cast for some reason. Yeah, we're out of secrets, but tomorrow we can learn the last one. I'm gonna need some lumber and some fur and some pigment. We can make the plushie right now. That's happening. I need 5 cerulean pigment and 2 temporal crystals. We can just get enough to make both things. Nothing will ever compare to pearl. Gold was my original obsession. I played blue, but I had to share a cartridge with my sister. And for gold, I had gold and she had silver. And that was the move. What am I doing? I'm making an Elec plushie, that's right. A beloved Elec plushie. I'm picking up my mail. Only played the first few Pokemon Generation games. Yeah. They definitely have kept on keeping on. They've been making stuff for their fans. I'm such a collector and I really just want one game with all of them, but that'll never happen. I mean, if you play the first generation game, it has all of them that were available at that point. Oh, perfect. Okay, so now I need to get myself about 35 Shadowman lumber, For which we need to pick up some Olemba lumber and then do some trading. So I will go pick up maybe 40 or 50 or so. I have a character already out here in Outland. I think I'm going to work my way back over to Blade's Edge. I was happy farming there. Tempted to go kill modes for fire at the Throne of Kil'jaeden just to sell until it cuts me off from it again. Kind of tempted. Not gonna lie to you. Might do just a few of them. No, no, no. That's not what I'm doing. It's not what I'm here for. Turn around. Although I will keep ore tracked. I will mine ore. Because that can also give you primal fire. And it gives you extra ore to sell. So let me waypoint where I'm heading to. I'm going to farm way up there. And that gives me a little pin to kind of vaguely follow. I know from experience that I can actually make it across that gap. Loved diamond the most. It was peak generation. Had more luck farming corium today. Nice. Weekdays I feel like will go a lot better. Weekdays in war mode. The competition I think is... I mean, it's a rare thing to begin with, so even with nobody else in the zone, it'll still be a bit hard, but... Competition certainly wasn't helping. Got the polearm mop rather than the brush. Oh, you'll get it. It'll happen. Poke Rogue is the best version of Pokemon. Has all the Pokemon and no bad story. Some of the stories are better than others. When I was a kid, all I wanted was a Pokemon game that was for a couch console to play like on the TV with a controller as opposed to just on the tiny little Game Boy screen. And I wanted it to be like an open world kind of game, like the later generations that we got. But at the time, it felt like, in like 2003 or whatever, it felt like such a pipe dream. I figured they would never made it. Like I got a copy of Pokemon Colosseum. Was it Colosseum? Something like that. It was a GameCube Pokemon title. And I was so excited because I thought it was going to be a regular mainline Pokemon game where I could catch wild Pokemon and pick out my team and whatnot. And it's not. It's another kind of weird RPG where you can get some Pokemon, but you can only like steal them from trainers, but it's okay because they're the bad guys. It was just strange. Ironically, I think they were the bad guys because they were stealing Pokemon. Pot, Kettle, etc. Gale of Darkness were on the GameCube. Yeah, I think it was Colosseum. And I wanted so badly for it to be something that it was not. Oh, I've made it here. I didn't realize I had gotten to my destination. How are we doing on Olemba lumber? I said I needed like 50 or so? I always overshoot it a little bit, so if I ever need to make something that just wants 8 lumber, I often have enough to just do it. I only have 2 so far. That's not so good. Where do I learn recipes for housing decor? The recipes are on your profession trainer. The only exception is for WOD, they're on the profession recipes vendor who is next to the profession trainer. You need to have your profession leveled about 4/5 of the way in order to learn the recipes. They need you to have it leveled most, but not all of the way. But thankfully they did just stick them on trainers. They don't make you go to the ends of the earth trying to hunt down the recipes. Those motes of fire are still worth 80 gold a piece. 78 gold each. I will take any that I can get. I gotta recoup some of this gold that I was spending leveling these professions. Any little bit helps. I really like lumbering. Not for long periods of time, but you know, like 50 lumber to go, that's nice. It's relaxing. I was having much better luck out here the other day, actually. Crafted items give benefits for first craft. Can I just buy without missing anything? Do any crafted items give benefits? In Dragonflight and the War Within, you get profession knowledge for first crafts. I suppose that might also be true for first crafting the furniture. The benefit you get for the furniture is when you first learn it. Your first one learned will give you housing XP. Doesn't matter where you get it from. I wonder why decor doesn't show up in my tooltip anymore. Yeah, I agree with Nordersoul. It's nice to have the corresponding racial for leveling an old profession if there is one available, assuming that you're starting from scratch. I like the high mountain flight form, the bald eagle. I kind of wish it didn't have moose antlers on it. The moose antlers are a bit... I know it's a high mountain thing, but they look kind of funny on the bird. It kind of looks like a bird wearing a Halloween costume, but being an eagle is really cool. There's a disturbing lack of regard for undead in Horde player housing. I've been undead in my main for 19 years. Kind of sucks. I think a lot of people that are lifelong undeads, as awkward as it is, are making homes in the Alliance neighborhood so they can play in the spooky area there. There's part of the Alliance neighborhood that is more undead than anything in the Horde area. Which is dumb. I don't see why they couldn't have had a little spooky graveyard going on somewhere in the Horde one, but what are you gonna do? Darkshire area and Alliance sound better for undead. It's awkward though. I wouldn't blame anybody who didn't want to be in the Alliance neighborhood, or like maybe you play with a Horde guild and they want to be in the guild neighborhood. What are you gonna do? Got an excellent Forsaken Beach House. Love it. Forsaken Beach House sounds like an expansion pack for your Barbie Dream House. All the fun, double the skeletons. Thank you, Mithril. Which I would buy for my Barbies. Could have sworn in the earliest WoW housing news they were talking about the Horde Zone having darker Forsaken-inspired areas. Yeah, maybe. At a certain point, I stopped keeping up with the housing interviews. Comes with tiny little green canisters. Nice plot in the Horde neighborhood, but I really prefer the Alliance Zone. At some point, I'm going to pick out a Horde plot. I'll probably just do a public neighborhood. So close to being done with lumber. I'm so looking forward to it. Nice. Are you going to go back to farm more to make copies to sell, or are you going to be just like done? Which part of Razorwind are you leaning to? I don't know. I did a tour of it on beta. Yeah, there are nice Horde areas. I liked the beachy part, the sort of troll-ish area, I think. I wonder if those are going to be the plots in highest competition, though. If I'm looking for them in a public neighborhood, I might have to refresh a lot. Yeah, you can see goblins digging the beach plots, too. That's what I did. Plot 46, really nice. How can one check the decors that they've collected? You've got your in-game decor catalog that lets you kind of browse and filter and sort it. If you're just looking for a number, the way I've been pulling mine is via Data for Azeroth. I'm looking my character up on Data for Azeroth, and it can get a number from the API. I also, before I got the achievement for collecting... before I got the fully furnished achievement, you can also track that achievement. And that'll show you how many unique decor you have that's uncommon quality or higher. I've been a completionist for a very long time. Housing seems a bit overwhelming to get into. Haven't touched it yet. Feels like a Garrison 2.0. It's a big thing. It feels pretty distinct from Garrisons to me playing it. It feels much more fun to actually play with the stuff you're getting. I think that of all of the collecting systems in WoW, this is the one that lets me have the most fun with the stuff that I got. Transmog is very fun to combine things together, but there's a pretty small percentage of overall transmog that is interesting to me to use. Pets and mounts, at a certain point, I'd collect them, but I don't even see them anymore. Those kind of started just being +1s. But the housing decor, you can enjoy so much of it, and you can combine it and mix it and match it together to make something that is so custom to you, and so it's more fun to play with. You can do more with it. Pause game, please. Yeah, it looks like I'm gonna... I might actually get up myself. I've taken a few more breaks. I've been trying to take my breaks and try to line them up with ad breaks a bit more to make things a little less disruptive. I'm gonna find that VOD. Love your previews and tours of things. Doing Legion leatherworking quests for hours. Yeah, the Legion profession quests are an odyssey. So we have 29 pieces of Alumba lumber. I want to get up to about 50 here. Managed to make an Emerald Dream portal as the entrance to my house. Any gnome furniture in the game yet? There are some gnome things. There's a gnomish steam-powered bed. Anyone's guess as to what the steam is powering. Her. Housing still completable, makes it less of a big thing than something like Mog. Yeah, I think that's what's giving me the motivation to really pursue it properly for the moment, is that for the moment, it feels completable. It feels like I can get the available things. I know that that is going to run away from me. It is going to get away from me, and I will reach a point where I no longer feel like I can get even close to everything, but for now, I can. And as long as I can, I'm gonna. Pets were like that for me, too, when they first came out. For a long time, I took a lot of pride in keeping my pet collection as thorough and complete and up-to-date as possible. Yeah, it's powering the lamp that you're using to read the books in the bed. There you go. Heats the bed for the perfect temperature on cold nights. $40, $36. Getting there. I think the thing I need to do to make that kitchen feel complete enough is add more light to it. I think I need to do some farming of lights and windows. I need to pick my favorite windows for my house, and I need to pick my favorite, like, lamps. And I need to just somehow invest in copies of them, whatever that may involve. Having just, like, 1 or 2 of everything is great until you try to make your space feel cohesive. Yeah, exactly. The definitely not a restaurant kitchen. Love the Gilnean lamps, which are money. Yeah, the profession stuff. Unless the mats are really cheap. If the mats are cheap and it's just lumber, that's one thing. Especially if it's like a fairly low amount of lumber per copy, like sub 20. But, I don't know. Some of it's a lot. Don't think I'll be able to farm without Farm HUD once the Midnight Add-on nuke comes around. I don't think the Midnight Add-on nuke should affect Farm HUD at all. The add-on nuke is affecting add-ons that read info in combat, and about combat. This has nothing to do with combat. Someone should set their house up like an IKEA. I really liked setting my house up like a showroom. Like whenever I was trying to like pick a bed, I really liked laying out every bed that I had collected so I could see what my favorite one was. It's great news. Yeah. Yeah, the headlines simplify it in a way that makes it sound much farther reaching than it is. There may be some collateral damage. There may be some add-ons that end up throwing in the towel. But I think reports have been exaggerated. A lot of misconceptions about the add-on thing. Yeah, weak auras is doomed. Weak auras is toast. Oh, I was gonna get up during my ad break, but it started running without me. I got distracted. We got 20 more minutes. We can finish this out. I have 45. We'll have 5 more, and then we'll pop it in the war bank, and I'll probably hop back on my priest to trade it for trade it out for Shadow Moon lumber. I wonder if they're at any point going to fix it so that you can earn Draenor lumber in Draenor. I would love to go farm in Shadow Moon Valley. Or like Draenor to Grand. Do you as a streamer know exactly when an ad is going? I have a overlay over the top of my chat window that gives me a countdown to when they're starting. And I also have a button that lets me run them manually. But I don't always remember to look at it. It's supposed to be smart enough to tell when things, like, if the chat's really engaged, it's supposed to kind of, like, not run ads then, and save them for, like, quieter moments. It's supposed to be smart about that. I don't know how smart it actually is. Yeah, the power. I know they're distasteful. Twitch ads are for sure annoying. But they do make a big dent in my mortgage. Especially because it gets converted out from US dollars, which goes pretty far in Canadian dollars these days. And we do have it set up, so if you have a sub, even a Prime sub, you shouldn't get ads on my channel. That's the dream. How many motes of fire? We got 6 motes of fire from the ore that we've been getting. We have our sufficient amount of Alumba lumber, so I'm going to stay right here and I'll use the Warbank thing to put that in. We'll go trade it for Draenor lumber. And we're going to make... Is it the rug, I think? Oh, no, it's the bed. It's the Caribor bed. That's what we're making. Oh, I should probably farm extra. Well, we'll do it later. I was going to say I should probably farm extra so I can also make the rug later, but whatever. There we go. Turbo does support the streamer as well, yes. Yeah, I get revenue from people with Turbo. Yeah, you gotta make a living. Been Turbo for years, had no idea. That's good. Yeah. YouTube works the same way with YouTube Premium. YouTube Premium completely removes ads from YouTube, and it also gives kickbacks to the stream or to the creator that you're choosing to watch. And it's better than ad revenue. A YouTube Premium view goes a lot farther than an ad view. I'm going to trade my lumber. That's right. We're going to trade the lumber, and then we're going to log back onto the tailor to make the bed. There's a lot of different characters involved in this. As a fervent ad watcher, I'm doing my part. YouTube Premium, best money I spend. I turn Premium on and off depending on what's going on, but then my partner has Premium, so we just logged into his YouTube account on our TV. And bless him, he's given me full permission to completely destroy his algorithm by clicking on whatever I want to watch YouTube ad-free just like on the television from the couch. So his algorithm, which used to be just like fishing videos and like nature exploration, is just getting completely polluted with dogs and cats and comedians and stuff. Does he watch your stream? Yeah, he puts it on. Oh, I have someone in the something in the background. Animal Crossing. Bizarrely, I'm starting to put on the occasional video game video again, but for the longest time I wouldn't watch any video game YouTube. It just felt too close to work for me. I would be unable to just enjoy the content without comparing it to what I'm doing and trying to brainstorm things that I could do differently or better or things that I should not do, and I would just freak myself out about it. For the longest time I wouldn't put on anything. I started putting on the thing that kept coming up in the algorithm that I started clicking on was Donkey. I still enjoy a good Donkey video. I'm trading the lumber, that's right. Bugging me that I can't figure out why my tooltip isn't working on lumber. Oh, man. I mean, it's not... Oh, I have to pull it from my Warbank, that's right. I suppose it's not helpful for me to say that sometimes things just break. Something will happen, and my partner wants to know why it happened and what exactly went wrong and what's going on, and I'm like, sometimes things just bust. Just turn it off and back on again like 5 times. See if that works. Let's pull our Olemba lumber, and I'm gonna get 50 Shadow Moon lumber. Hang on. 50. I do think that trying to identify what happened and fixing it is probably the better strategy long term, because it equips you better to understand future mishaps and malfunctions. And then we put the lumber back in the warbank because we're going to need to use it. Turbo's been helping me discover new streamers because I don't get turned off by the pre-roll ads. Yeah, those I have disabled because I feel like those are just kind of kicking your butt if you want anybody to check out your stream. It's a lot to ask for somebody to sit through 30 seconds when they don't even know you. Especially these days. What am I doing? I'm going back to my mage to tailor the thing. Fighting for my life trying to keep track of where we're going here. Pre-rolls are 3 minutes now. Ooh. Yeah, that's a lot. On most streams. Like, on one hand, I get that if you're watching a pre-roll, you don't know what you're missing yet because the stream hasn't loaded, so you're less frustrated about whatever the content is supplanting, but that's a long time. Remember how many ads? I was comparing, like, Twitch ad minutes to TV ad minutes, because I remember being a kid and watching, like, Friends reruns on TV, and I'm like, well, how many minutes per hour did they run? A lot is what it was. We are making the Caribor bed, I think is what it is. Lovely. And then if I look at Draenor and I look at decor, so tomorrow I can get the pattern for the circular rug. I will need to get more lumber for it. I need another 13 Shadow Moon lumber. That's a cute bed, though. Look at that. Yeah, 10 minutes of ads for a 20-minute show in a 30-minute spot. Exactly, yeah. Twitch is bad, but Twitch isn't that bad. I mean, I guess you could crank it up that high, but generally not. Thinking of getting 1 month of Hulu to watch the OG Sailor Moon. It's $18.99 for no ads. Might as well hunt for Sailor Moon DVDs. Our show's usually 42 minutes of content. Yeah. I run 5 minutes per hour, so I have 55 minutes of content for an hour. Which feels high, but Twitch is all like, yo, streamers like you run this much, and they always tell you it's more. Twitch has like a back-end dashboard that seems exclusively designed to try to talk you into running more ads. They'll be like, people who are your size and ran this many ads, which is everybody, made an extra $800 a month, and they'll keep telling you that. It doesn't matter how high you crank it up, they want you to crank it up higher. Trying to do the drum circle achievement in High Mountain. There were 4 people nearby that I asked to join me. They all dipped. Oh, that's rude. I bet you there's people that still want to do that achievement. May as well get a little bit more lumber. We're going to need it anyway. I bought Turbo because I hate ads and I hate that they're a different volume than what you set the stream at. Oh yeah, Twitch for sure gets more money for more ads as well. There's a level where if you run less than a certain amount of ads, they don't give you as good of an ad revenue split. There's a threshold at which you get a better revenue split. Okay, we are farming here. Yeah, it does give a furniture item. It's a Skyhorn kite. I hate capitalism. Oh, thanks, ProtoQuest. That's sweet. We try. There's a middle ground somewhere. I think I grew up in an era of content where anybody that did any advertisements or sponsorships was kind of like ostracized for selling out, and there was this idea that if you were a real content creator, you would do it for free. So shilling for whoever was paying for like advertisements was like an embarrassing and bad thing to do. And that has not been the culture for a really long time, but I still have a little bit of that mindset kind of like stuck in the back of my head. Yeah. I think at a certain point you just have to accept that I'm not an artist. This is not art. I am playing World of Warcraft. We are the parasitic lamprey in the underbelly of the capitalist shark. Yeah. And nowadays, people, if anything, like, are either, you know, get that bag, queen, or like doing sponsorships gives you clout effectively because it's showing that you can, that you have the status to kind of cut those kind of deals. It's more of an impressive thing than anything else, but I haven't, my brain hasn't downloaded that patch. Shows in the tooltip now, don't know what happened. Sometimes stuff gets wonky. How are we doing on the lumber again? I won't have enough to... I've already used my warbank cooldown. The warbank actually persists for a while, so if you're fast enough, you can actually go back and use the same one that you spawned earlier, even if you logged out. But, I'll just give another 10 minutes of farming. Then tomorrow we can convert it and make that rug, and then we'll be done with Draenor tailoring too. Got a bunch of stuff today. I'm not sure exactly what I said, Dorda. It would be in the VOD somewhere. I'm probably mixing up my parasites. Yeah, stream brought to you by Raid Shadow Legends NFTs. Yeah, maybe the moral bar needs to move. People are transparent, let the consumer decide for themselves. I suppose so. It's just a lot of the stuff that runs ads on YouTube and Twitch content is, I guess not all of it. Some of it is just games that are trying to make their way for themselves. But games that have like gambling mechanics, a lot of the products are things that like nobody really needs, that doesn't need to exist, that is just harming the environment and making extra junk by drop shipping a bunch of like stuff that's just going to end up in the trash. It just feels kind of crummy. I need more of these companies to believe in their products, you know? I need them to suck less. Weird one I keep getting called top heroes. You can't tell it's AI, and I keep reporting it, but it just keeps coming back. Oh, speaking of merch, Jeff, I remembered you said yesterday about how Creve had all the things merch. And I was like looking for it because I was curious about it and I wanted to see what there was to offer. And I like was Googling it, I couldn't find it. And then I pulled up a stream and I looked like through the panels and I finally found a link, and it's a Design by Humans link. And apparently, this is how I found out, Design by Humans went under. The link is dead. It does not work. Back in August of this most recent year, they just folded with apparently very little warning for anybody who was using their service for merch. But that was shocking to me because I remember they were like the last word in creator merch. They were the bougie one. They were the fancy one that supposedly had higher quality stuff and supposedly had higher quality relationships and was like the best one. And you had to get like invited or something. Like it wasn't necessarily something. I don't remember if you had to have a partner or something, but like it was the fancy one. And I remember like I had spoken with them and then decided against it. But like for them to just poof like that was shocking. Money on pay for Hazel merch. We're driving up the FOMO very hard with Hazel merch by launching it approximately every 5 to 6 calendar years. Those runs are real exclusive. Went to get new shirts because it's time and they're gone. Did not know that happened. I don't even know if Creve knows that happened. He still has the link up. At first I was like, why am I getting blocked by Cloudflare? That's weird. I've done merch through Teespring before, and I've been happy with that. Your donation link doesn't work? The PayPal one? I wonder if I shut that down or if it's just out of date. Yeti does creator stuff. Might be worth looking into. Maybe. I don't know. On some level, I don't know. There's part of me that feels guilty about the environment. Like, it's bad enough when I buy new clothes for myself, but selling them to other people, I just gotta not think about things like like that. It's just paralyzing. You can't do anything that's like part of like the normal monetization structure of your job. Local to the island? Vancouver Island? Still have a stick figure shirt that did not peel. Must be bordering on a rare collectible at this point. Betcha it is. I remember when I thought it was such a big deal that I got my I made a little signature graphic that I like put in sort of like a faded grayscale on like the back of the shirt, like a little Easter egg. And I was so pleased with myself. I thought that would be so cool, and then nobody noticed. Weirdly enough, the most successful Shark Tank company is Bombas Socks. Yeah, I do see them doing sponsorships. There's the occasional one where the products are actually fine. I don't think I ever took a MeUndies sponsorship, but I bought some at one point. And they held up fine. They held up great. They're still the only bras that I wear. Paralyzed by it, had a kid, don't have the headspace to worry about it nearly as much anymore. Yeah, I don't know. I'm holding myself to standards that aren't realistic for the industry that I'm in, and that I wouldn't expect anybody else to hold themselves to, and nobody's expecting me to hold myself to. I don't know, I've been online for too long. Love Bombas. Didn't know Bombas was on Shark Tank. People will probably buy the same amount of them regardless of if you're selling them or not. Yeah, I suppose so. As long as they hold up and they get a good lifespan. Joined a running club, and I swear girls were hitting on me. Well, that's fun. Had my $12 stock for 5 years. Oh, man. You know, another Shark Tank product, not that they sponsor anybody, but another Shark Tank product that that I feel like did really well and that I actually use is Scrub Daddies. I got influenced to buy a Scrub Daddy cleaning sponge sort of around last year around the time that I was moving, and I'm a big fan. It does a really good job. Love that. Yeah. They last a really long time too, and they don't get stinky the way the other ones do. I feel like they genuinely made like a useful thing to me. I was looking at it and I was like, why are they selling this for so much money? And then I bought one. I'm like, oh, that's why. Yeah, I've got a Scrub Mommy in the kitchen, and I've got a Scrub Daddy that I just use for general scrubbing. Does great though. We need a shirt that says Hazel Stream. Do not disturb. Everyone knows at noon. Do not try to talk to me. That's my Hazel time. Aww. They do, not as much, but they do. They used to. That's cute. I feel like VPNs must be not carbon neutral, but like not the most wasteful of products to sell. The problem with VPN marketing is that it's usually fear-based. You're usually trying to scare somebody into thinking that they must have it, which, depending on what they're doing, may or may not be true. I think the most useful thing about VPNs is just being able to access other localizations for things like streaming. That's something that almost everybody can get use out of. Work starts again Monday. Gonna not be able to watch live again most days. For Christmas, I got, speaking of like funny sayings on clothes, I got a pair of socks in my stocking that my husband got for me that say, "Can't get up. There's a German Shepherd on my lap." And they got little pictures of dogs that look kind of like Moosey. Dreading going back to work after 2 weeks off. Nice vacation, though. Nice reset. Yeah, dude. Oh, good, good, good. Lots of lumber here. This'll be more than enough to make what we're gonna make tomorrow. Or not tomorrow. Tomorrow is Monday. You're not gonna see me tomorrow. You're not gonna see me till Wednesday. It's about time to wrap up. I had a nice week of streams. The week before was a bit short because of Christmas, but this past one was nice and comfy. I've enjoyed spending some of this vacation time with you guys. Plus, my decor number has been going up. I don't remember exactly where it was when it started. And I don't know to what degree we trust the Data for Azeroth number. But you cannot deny we have more now than we had at the beginning of the week. Number go up. Number has definitely been going up. Okay. Got some socks for Christmas that were, based on the label, proceeds went to helping cats and helping bees. Never knew how real that stuff is, but I do appreciate them. All right. I would like to thank you, Gary. Thank you guys very much for joining. Thank you guys very much for joining. I appreciate the company. I will be back on Wednesday, which would, I think, be January the 7th, for my first stream of next week. Appreciate you guys. Thanks for being here, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day.